focus, in-fight composure, patience, defensive awareness, and for the first time, a full-time nutritionist. The Rebel, Martin Reffell, calls tonight a massive fight, and he's right, because it is truly two of the best to compete in the Trigon. The Rebel has changed everything up as well. It was a good fight against Liam Rocky Reese, but at the end of the day, he does still. Martin Reffell lived by the mantra, I don't believe in game over until the game is over, and the multi-time fight of the night winner has always looked up to his opponent tonight, the veteran, James "The Truth" Connelly. And let me be true with all of you watching tonight. Do not go anywhere. Great fights, and to get it started, Big Boat, here we go!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Planet Ice Arena here in Bristol, England. Tonight's home for BKB 45, as the smallest surface in combat sports, BKB's mighty Trigon has ventured back across the ocean here to the United Kingdom. We have great matchups on our main card, headlined by our main event between James Connelly and Martin Reffell. But we begin first with 5 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division, live on Vice TV. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his way to the Trigon. Please welcome Will Deitzell.
The gentleman, and he truly is when you get an opportunity to talk to Will Deitzell, fighting out of Lone Wolf Boxing with the Edwards brothers in Worcester, England. He has a vast boxing background. Last fight, he had to get his weight down on short notice, but still earned the victory against Nicky Potts. Took that fight on 10 days notice. For this one, Tom Ross, he had a full camp and he expects to be better than ever.
How often do we see somebody taking a fight at short notice and winning it? Because you're going into the fight without any expectations on you, and it relaxes you, and I think we've seen that. But listen, he's got, you mentioned the Edward brothers. I mean, they know what they're doing as well in many disciplines. So yeah, so we're going to see something special from him tonight, I think.
Veteran of 16 white collar bouts, and Gareth A. Davies never dropped and thus never stopped.
Deitzell for me is a fascinating character. He's admitted he needs to be more evasive in this fight. One thing I really like about him is a deep human being who admits that you cannot go in there and be fearless. Fear is a very real thing. He lives an extraordinary life with his partner Imogen, who's a circus act performer, an acrobat. She's been with him for the last 3 days. He needs to go in there and do some fistic acrobatics tonight.
And if you want to know exactly what she does, just think of The Greatest Showman and the acrobat up there.
Yeah.
And I haven't asked him that.
But Will's got something special to offer tonight. I'm certain. I think we're in for a surprise, a big surprise.
Looking forward to it. The gentleman is back.
And now his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the Trigon. Please welcome Jordan Tomkins.
The trooper, Jordan Tomkins, trained by his father, Warren. Dad will be in his corner tonight. Sam Raps will be in his corner tonight. Long layoff for Jordan Tomkins, who has 5 career bare knuckle bouts, one of those inside the mighty Trigon, but it was back in BYB 14. December 9th, 2022, when he earned knockout of the night in his victory over Nick Campbell. Now, Jordan Tomkins was funny, and our Hall of Fame matchmaker told me the story back then. He said what he was most excited about, Jordan, is Mel took him to Walmart George said, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Well, he's already ahead for me because he's coming out to one of my favourite bands, the Gypsy Kings, Bambolero, which is brilliant. But for me, this is the guy that will surprise a lot of people. Look at him. Look at the way he struts.
Yep.
There's something about him, and I think he's got something really special to be a BKB hero and champion.
His first 2 bare knuckle fights were 33 days apart. Now coming off that long layoff, is ready to move to 2-0 inside the mighty Trigon. Our tail of the tape for our first fight of the night here on the main card. Light heavyweight matchup. Tomkins, 7 years younger than Deitzell. Reach is identical. Height goes the way of the gentleman. To get things officially underway with our first set of official introductions, the one, the only, 6'7" Big Mo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live on Vice TV from Bristol, England for BKB 45. We open our main card in the light heavyweight division, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. It is brought to you by Clue Nicotine Pouches. Our referee in charge when the bell rings is Clive Allison. Well, let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with silver trim. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall. He weighed in at 173.2 pounds. He enters the Trigon tonight undefeated as a professional bare knuckle fighter. 1 fight, 1 victory. And he fights out of Worcester, England. Introducing Will the Gentleman Deitzell. And now his opponent, standing across the Trigon, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with silver trim. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 172 pounds. He holds a near perfect bare knuckle record of 4 victories versus just 1 defeat. And he fights out of Newbury, England, Jordan the Trooper Tomkins.
As Mo mentioned, Big Clive Allison, our referee. Tomkins, Deitzell, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Here we go. Jordan Tomkins, the trooper, black with silver trim, comes out firing. Deitzell in the black and silver trunks said, I want to utilize my vast traditional boxing background, be evasive. Don't throw big bombs all the time. Make his shots more glove-to-like, if you will, to try to break down the trooper who is really swarming right now in Jordan Tomkins.
He's coming hunting.
Yeah, he
the
is.
trooper is coming hunting.
Tom Ross, Garrett A. Davies with me, and he is hunting Tom Garrett.
That's the way he comes out, he's hunting. He'll throw bomb after bomb after bomb, hoping that one connects.
Tomkins, you can see his muscularity and his power. Deitzell changing levels, ducking under a lot of punches very cleverly. Needs to be very evasive and use his reach and height advantages. It's a very, very good fight this so far. It's going either way tonight.
Interesting that, Mike, that Gareth just said he's got to be evasive. That's his style. Evasive.
And look at that, using long hooks.
Yeah.
Good counters. Connecting to his opponent, Deitzell. Jordan Tomkins, 4 victories, as I mentioned, and all 4 of them
Always been caught.
have been by stoppage, but it's Deitzell who scores the first knockdown of the fight.
They threw punches together. It was a counter, but it is
just like that. The punch went right into the eye, broken nose it appears, and the gentleman is 2-0 inside the mighty Trigon.
He has hit him with a massive punch that has disfigured him, broken his nose, smashed it dead, and he knows that he could not go on. What a beautifully timed punch by Will Deitzell as they both threw jabs.
And we were saying, in this sport you never know, because Tomkins looked quite sharp. He was throwing, he looked comfortable, he looked in control of himself, bang, hit with it. And this is BKB, the beauty of BKB. You never, ever know what's coming next.
Deitzell, the reach was the same, Tom, but Deitzell, the much taller fighter, and his jab landed first, and his jab finishes the fight.
But isn't that what we know? You've seen enough of this stuff. Yeah. This is what we know. No matter what the bookies say, no matter what the form book says, anything can happen in BKB, and we've just seen it.
So he is now 2-0 in the Trigon. There's never a safe space. He's a threat everywhere. Official decision coming up next.
Have a look when he turns around. Have a look when he turns around.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Clive Allison calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute 25 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by TKO and still undefeated, Will the Gentleman Deitzell.
The jab can be a very dangerous weapon, and it was for the gentleman who will visit with Gareth A. Davies.
Well, what a dramatic end after 25 seconds of the bout, where you hit him with a left hook, I believe, as he threw a jab. Talk us through it.
I'm just overwhelmed. Didn't feel like I've been in here very long. He hit me with some big shots, good jabs. He got me on the nose, got me on the chin. Looking at his nose, you know, it's somewhat difficult to not feel bad, but this is the game. It's a bare-knuckle game. It's rough, it's violent. That's how it goes. So I'm fucking overjoyed that I've won.
Let's take a little look at the screen over there where we can see the highlights, Will. Just talk us through it.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be a fast-paced fight from the beginning, so I was happy when it became more of a slower boxing match. And I tried to time that left hook as he stepped in, which is what I've done. And I can see I've cracked him on the nose there.
And the short punches are the ones that cause the most damage, because effectively it was a 6-inch punch, wasn't it? And it absolutely disfigured him and stopped him.
Absolutely. I'm really proud of my performance. I've hurt my hand on it, on his face. But he's a tough man, very, very tough man. And like I said in my last fight, full respect to him. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to speaking to him at the end and showing my love and respect. I'd also like to say one thing. During my fight camp for this fight, I've had an overwhelming amount of support from everyone in the gym, from my corner team, from everyone that's looked after me and helped me, my partner Imogen, all my clients and my own boxing studio. So thank you so much to everybody.
Final one, I know you called the gentleman, but the light heavyweight champions over there, Barry Jones, you got a word for him?
Sorry, say that again.
The light heavyweight champion Barry Jones is sitting over there. Have you got a word for him?
I'm not the sort of person that calls out fighters. I'm a gentleman by name and by nature. I take whatever comes, and I always do my absolute best each and every time. So whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to call anybody out.
Congratulations, Will Deitzell!
Well, that was handled beautifully by a true gentleman nicknamed the Gentleman. And I don't know if I'm in a rush, Tom Ross, my partner here in the UK, I'm not in a rush to say, let's go against the Welsh smashing machine, Barry Jones.
Not for sure, but he impressed us. If you remember earlier, he impressed us in the pre-fight interviews. Deitzell, he's a gentleman of the highest order, but he showed with that jab. It was like, it wasn't really a hook, it was a straight jab.
It was a straight jab.
And he scored him and broke his nose. But that can happen in BKB. You know, I hope the lad's all right, and I hope he's back in the ring soon, because we already seen the flurry from him. And he said himself, didn't he, that he caused me a few problems.
Sure.
This is the best and most unpredictable sport, and the beauty of it is its unpredictability. You don't know what's coming next.
And why did Deitzell's jab land first? Reach was identical, as I mentioned, Tom, but he's much taller. He turned the shoulder over, and so in a battle of which jab will land first,
straight through.
That's why his jab was there.
And he could have been the other way.
Yep.
So easily, but it's first, fastest, quickest, slickest. There you go.
Also joining us tonight here at the desk, he just did the interview, Gareth A. Davies. And Gareth, let's look ahead to our main event of the evening. Both James Connelly and Martin Reffell have done exactly what you should do after a setback. They only looked at one man. They utilized a mirror to do so. They'll come back bigger and better tonight.
Yeah, they both have to. It's a very important fight for both of them. They're very wizened fighters. They're very strong. Reffell looks good at super middle. He's carried the weight very well, but I think he's got to get the job done early if he's going to win against Canelli. He's a guy that knows how to do the hard yards and how to do the distance, in my view. Perfect tempo in so many of his fights.
And it is a massive fight, as I said in the open, for him, Tom, but also he is fighting one of his idols, one of the guys he's always looked up to, similar guy, Scott McEwen. I'm sure that Martin is over that, though, when he gets in there, and James would not expect anything different.
Listen, James has got the ring craft to a T. Yeah. He's a better boxer, but we've just seen what happens in BKB. Anything can happen. Reffell is a brawler, self-admitted brawler. He will come hunting from the off. He will be after James to try and put him under pressure. James is now, we'll see how good his ring craft is and his footwork is, because if he keeps out of trouble, the longer it goes on, James wins the fight for me. But if Reffell comes after him and hits him, who knows? That's why I love it.
I love it indeed. All right, let's take a look at our main card here tonight, live from Planet Ice. You talk about a gentleman. How about that gentlemanly Aussie, the first Australian to win a regular gloved heavyweight world championship. He will fight against Cory Harrison. We've got a rematch in Hilz and Patterson. Patterson fighting in his backyard. Boardman, Skurtu, and a guy that you absolutely love, Tom, because he gives it to you. He slants you.
Yes.
That's Simey Doherty.
Absolutely, he gives it me all the time. But he's such an engaging young man. The smoke from Stoke. He's even after last fight. You remember, I know Gareth didn't, but I thought he'd lost that fight. You and I, he was so close, but we thought he'd lost it. Gareth thinks he won by 4 rounds to 1. Never, in my opinion, never that distance.
And what a great co-main event. Both men said, yeah, we're from Wales, but it's not truly a backyard battle. There's respect. Lerwell, power, power, power. And Jackhammer, coming off the title fight against Hawkins, said, I need to box tonight. I need to box tonight. I can't try to outpower my opponent.
Lerwell and Marshman, believe me, have a saying in Wales. When you get butterflies, when you get nerves, when the butterflies are in formation, they breathe like dragons. And there's 2 dragons coming in here tonight. I've said it earlier on, I've said it all week. This is a bragging rights fight just across the border, the Severn Bridge into Wales, and very close to Wales here. And the valley that they are from will be singing in praise of the winner tonight.
There must be hundreds of butterflies.
Well, one's Abertillery, one's Swansea. It is. The bragging rights are up for grabs. Lerwell, if you remember, he got his jaw broken last time.
Yeah, and still won.
Yep. And this is the difference. But Marshman's a different kettle of fish. Wow,
and
that
so
is hell of a
the
fight.
man that we are going to
Credit
feature.
to the matchmakers,
yes,
Mike, for doing this.
I'll tell you what, they are the best in the business, and we are looking forward to the man who, back in the day, upset James Toney, Lucas Browne, Cory Harrison, coming up next.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you all back here to Bristol, England, and we welcome back to all of you joining us on Vice TV as we now arrive in the heavyweight division. Our next bout is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds inside the smallest fighting surface in combat sports. This is BKB's Mighty Trigon. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his way down the ramp. Please welcome Cory Harrison.
Well, talking about broken jaws, which isn't a great subject, but Cory Harrison on May 18th of last year was out because of a broken jaw, out for 477 days. He is back here tonight to make his Trigon debut. And Tom, it's all about family, right? In this life, my brother and my son's birthday, both on May 18th.
Well, big day then.
Well, so my brother hasn't aged in like 25 years because I canceled his birthday here.
Well, whatever it is, give me it.
There you go.
And I think the thing about Cory, so experienced, even though he's a youngish man, he knows how experienced as a fighter Lucas Browne, his opponent, is, and knows he cannot take him for granted. This is second time around as this organisation grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And these are the big men, and this man has a future if he can put away a name tonight.
Without a doubt. But a lot of big names come into this sport, glove boxers, and all of a sudden, some of them walk away after the first one. So we'll see what Lucas Browne is made of. Because as a fighter, you couldn't knock him. He's been in with Dillian White, he's beaten Camel Sokolowski. I mean, the guy's awesome. But what will he do in here?
And now his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, entering the Trigon for the very first time, the former gloved boxing champion and the pride of Australia, Lucas Browne.
Lucas Browne was 25-0 with 22 knockouts. Part of that 25-0 was the victory, a 12-round unanimous decision in 2013 over James Toney. His first career loss was to 22-1 Dillian White.
Absolutely. And listen, the man's pedigree as a glove fighter is beyond question. But I keep saying it, this is a different sport. This is different.
I was there calling that fight that night against Dillian White and the one against David Allen. Lucas Browne, this is his last hurrah, but he's brought a great physicality to glove boxing, and it remains to be seen, and we will find out in the next few moments whether he still has it. It's a 3-fight deal. He wants to fight Sokolowski. He wants to become the heavyweight champion. This is a massive test for a man who's almost a household name in the UK. He's become a big name, even a bigger name than he is in Australia.
It's interesting. Unfortunately, Big George Taylor fell ill, so Camille Sokolowski will not fight tonight. It's actually more Soko wants to fight Lucas again because Lucas got the victory over Camille Sokolowski.
Oh, they love that debate, those two. They want to rerun it back, and it'll be in bare knuckle. This time it'll be an amazing contest. You've got to watch out, by the way. for the very dangerous left hook of Lucas Browne. That is his weapon of choice as he stepped into the trigon just above us.
We have got history, though, of glove boxers doing well. Barry Jones sitting just behind us.
There you go.
Came in and was 10-0.
Our tail of the tape for this heavyweight fight. 46-year-old Lucas Browne, 16 years the elder of Cory Harrison. 4-inch reach advantage, 4-inch height advantage. It is a fight that maxes out at 265, and you get the extra pound. Cory Harrison weighing in at 224.5. Tail of the tape brought to you by Clue Nicotine Pouches. Official introductions brought to you by Big Mo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, nearly 500 pounds has entered the smallest fighting surface in combat sports, the mighty Trigon. This bout is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds in the heavyweight division and is brought to you by Vortex Events. Our referee in charge when the bell rings is Ian John Lewis. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with red trim. He stands 6 feet, 1 inch tall. He weighed in at 224.5 pounds. Tonight, he enters the Trigon with a bare-knuckle record of 2 victories, opposite 4 defeats, and he fights out of Burnley, England, introducing Cory Harrison. And now his opponent, standing across the Trigon, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with blue and yellow trim. He stands 6 feet, 5 inches tall. He weighed in at 266 pounds. Tonight, he makes his professional bare-knuckle debut, fighting out of Perth, Australia, introducing the former WBA regular heavyweight champion of the world, Lucas Big Daddy Browne.
He's 6'5". He's 266, but in our fighter interviews, Lucas Browne was like an excited little kid. It was awesome visiting with him. Now he's set to do battle against Cory Harrison. Heavyweight matchup. Scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Browne and Harrison. Here we go. Lucas Browne, Big Daddy, in the black and gold trunks. Cory Harrison in the black and red trunks. Off the arm and a smile from Lucas Browne. And there is that power of Lucas Browne. And it's the left that Cory Harrison said you have to watch out for.
Straight jab again.
Yep.
Straight through. And he's smiling when he hits you.
4-inch reach advantage. Big height advantage. So if he turns that shoulder over like we saw with the Deitzell, then Big Daddy's going to be able to utilize those great boxing skills. And with the gloves, smart feet, smart fighter, lead with the jab.
He looks composed, doesn't he?
He does.
He
So
looks
relaxed.
really composed. Relax, that's the key word, relax.
But is Cory playing possum here, looking for that little right hand from the dip, like that?
Cory Harrison said this could be the biggest fight I ever have. And he's only 30, he's got a lot of fights left. I am fighting a world champion. Said he's on the way out, I'm on the way up. But he did say stay away from him and watch out for the big left.
Hell of a scalp, though, wouldn't it, if he beat him?
Yep. Huge, huge victory if Cory can pull it off. In MMA, Lucas Browne had 6 victories, finished all 6 of those wins. Talk about going into the history books and looking back. How about way back, even before the UFC days, Lucas Browne fought MMA against Daniel Cormier, the 2-time U.S. Olympian, and a big cut
with the right
forehead
hand.
of Cory Harrison.
From a right hand, and it's bleeding like claret down his face at the moment, gents.
And
What I'm enjoying, Mike, you watch, for a big guy, the head movement of Browne is amazing.
And as are the feints, as are his presence.
And the short right there, pouring it on. He knows he's damaged his opponent. They'll give him the 8 count. Knockdown scored by Big Daddy. We're going to check the cut on the head of Cory Harrison. This is a bad spot because it can bleed down towards the eyes.
He looks so comfortable, Lucas Browne.
No, like unbelievable. Like he's having fun. This is a bonus for him, Tom. This is a bonus.
You've got it right.
At 46 years old.
He's looking through a red curtain right now. They're going to continue. Brave man.
40 seconds on the clock, round number 1. Big Daddy fought Big Baby late in his glove career. But Big Baby was 25-0-1. He told me that he went in trying to box. DC took him right down. He took an elbow 13 stitches later.
This now, I've got to say, Cory now he's throwing punches knowing he's not even looking.
10 seconds on the clock, round number 1.
Can't see, can he?
I think
that's his problem right now, Mike.
He's caught him twice in the eye, though.
Yeah, he did catch him in the eye, but the thing is he knows he's a desperate man right now. He's dipping down low and just throwing that right hand because that's all he's got left. Not even looking.
But it caught him twice with the fingers, and the referee mentioned it. What do you reckon, Mike?
Well, I know one thing. If someone can make that bleeding stop, it's Vic Starita, because he's one of the best cut men in the world.
Indeed, but what I like about Lucas Browne, obviously, anyone can win a fight at any time with any punch in bare knuckle boxing, but Lucas Browne's presence, his poise, his balance, and his timing have been brilliant so far. Gents, he's been so impressive.
The head movement gets you. He gets in and out of trouble with his feet, but his head movement means you can't hit him.
Control of range has been so clever as well.
He smiles after his opponent lands a left hook on his chin.
He's smiling at you when he's hitting you.
Isn't that a grimace?
Yeah.
No, it's a smile. He's smiling.
That's a smile. Round number 2. You're going to check the cut again.
He wants the blood cleaned or another look at it.
It's more like a fissure than a cut.
Or whatever one of them is, it's bleeding.
A large cut.
I wonder if the ref will stop it.
I think it's a cut.
Yeah.
And it's hard when it's on the head.
Yes.
The blood just
into your eye. That's the thing.
It's pouring out, and it is all over. Dr. Referee, they have stopped the fight. Lucas Browne victorious in his professional bare knuckle debut.
I've seen enough, though. I mean, we knew he could fight, Mike, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
We knew he could fight. I've been surprised at the age of his movement, his head movement, and his feet getting him into trouble and out of trouble. He never stopped moving, and he's smiling. And he punished the guy. Let's be fair, he punished him. He picked his shots, bang. Let me tell you, that's a class act we're watching.
And he was smiling the whole time. So excited. Just
You're
like
not worried about
like I said earlier, it was like a little kid in the interview.
Yeah. You're not worried when you look at him and he hits you and smiles at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. I mean...
And that cut could have been in that movie. All right, Lucas Browne with those heavy hands cuts Cory Harrison badly, and the fight is over. Official decision coming up next. often do you hear the line, why do you fight? Well, because I can't sing and dance. Well, you know what? Lucas Browne made the top 50 of Australian Idol in 2004. That was the second season. Tonight was his first bare knuckle win to make it official Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ian John Lewis calls a stop to this contest at the beginning of the second round, declaring your winner due to a doctor stoppage, Lucas Big Daddy Browne.
Big Daddy. Great show of class as always. These are truly martial artists. Boxing is a martial art. And Lucas Browne will not stop smiling.
Cory's learning a big lesson tonight.
Yeah, and he'll come back better for it. He'll come back better for it. Garrett's going to visit with
You
the
don't win or lose, you win and learn.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we welcome Lucas Big Daddy Browne to bare knuckle boxing?
Hello, so how are you?
How was it?
I enjoyed that. Like, I had a lot of nervous energy, which was good because I haven't had that for years. Full credit to him. Like he came, he brought it, and I had to be on my game. Luckily, there was a cut. I won't say too much, but it was a stoppage, which is nice. I'm just happy to be back in it. It's good.
Were you disappointed you couldn't get the full KO stroke TKO or not?
Like, yes and no. Obviously, you want to have a big wow moment. At the same time, I won, and he walks away without any damage and all the rest of it. That's always a good thing. Everyone's here to fight, yes, but we're not here to get hurt, so to speak. So I'm very happy it sort of ended the way it did.
Obviously, you were a WBA regular champion in glove boxing. You fought who's who in the modern era. You even fought Daniel Cormier in MMA, the UFC champion. How far can you take this? Obviously, you've got the bit between your teeth now. It's a 3-fight deal with BKB. Are you headed towards the title?
You know what? I came into this, and this is all honesty, I came into this not having any idea if I could take the punches bare knuckle. I did. I'm quite happy. So I'm looking forward to the world title at some point. I want to be a 2-time world champ. Why the fuck not?
Kamil Sokolovsky was due to fight, but the illness to George Taylor behind the scenes precluded that fight from taking event tonight. You have fought Sokolovsky in glove boxing before. He's here somewhere in the arena. Would you like to fight him next?
When it comes down to it, I know Kamil. I don't know anyone else. It's up to the actual promotion to put it on. If it happens, it happens. I don't care. I do actually like him as a person. He's a great guy. I've met his wife and kid.
But would you knock him out?
I'd intend to, yeah, hell yeah. But honestly, he is one tough man, and it'll be a great fight.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Browne.
Lucas Browne's greatest influences, Mike Tyson, and the greatest to ever play on the NBA courts, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Congratulations, Big Daddy, Lucas Browne. Now, we're all over the world now. We are global and we're taking over, and this is where you can watch BKB inside the one, the only smallest surface in combat sports, the Trigon.
From South Florida to South Wales, BKB continues to take over the globe. Don't miss BKB Live when it comes to your town. Visit bkbbareknuckle.com for upcoming show schedules and ticket information.
They fought March 22nd of 2025. Yes, this year in Wolverhampton, they're about to do battle again in Dean Patterson's backyard. Coming up next, it's a rematch in the light heavyweight division against the Soul Snatcher, Paul Hilz and Dean War Patterson. Let's see if it goes differently than it did the first time. Paul Hilz says, No way. Patterson said he was going to end my career last time. He didn't make it past the second round. Tonight is a new fight, and it is coming up next. You are watching BKB 45.
Introducing first, making his way to the trigon. Please welcome Patterson.
Bristol zone walking into Tom Bristol zone.
It's the Wurzels and drink up thy cider. Because it's the cider capital of the world.
It is, isn't it? Coming right off an Australian idol.
There you go.
Dean Patterson said he's no pressure fighting here at home. Losing the first fight is what drives him for this rematch tonight.
Well, there's been a little bit of heat between those guys in the build-up because Patterson says he's going to finish Hilz. That's been the build-up, and Hilz wasn't happy about that. I think this is going to be one of those bangers of a match where both men let their hands go very quickly with alacrity right from the get-go.
It was before the first fight that actually he said he'd retire Paul Hilz, and Paul Hilz won that fight. So you've got to have some cojones, haven't you, to come back and be like that after being beaten.
Paul said he said he's going to retire me. He could get past the second round.
There you go.
Dean Patterson fighting at home tonight.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his way for his 18th bare knuckle bout. Here is Paul Hilz.
Man, that breaks my heart. Paul Hilz lost his grandmom before a fight, a friend. He recently lost his father, David. Said tonight is for Pops. And when I texted him and said, Paul, I'm so sorry to hear about it, he said straight out, he goes, Goldie, this one really stings. And in the fighter interviews, Tom, tears came to his eyes knowing that Pops was in heaven.
He's one of the BKB villains for the fans, but he's a good man.
He's as good as they
He's a good man. He's had a lot to deal with in his life recently, a lot to deal with the splitting up with his wife, all that sort of stuff that's tested him to the limit, and look at him, he's back again. And I love it, he's coming out to the Rolling Stones as well, painted black.
And he is the definition of do not judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely. Listen, he fights with a disability. He's had a deformed back all his life. He's a narrative of an amazing documentary that we are seeing unfold in front of us. Drugs, alcohol addiction, he's beaten them all. He's coming in tonight, very emotional. He almost always cries when we interview him. There's something very special about Paul Hilz, and I was delighted that the Sun newspaper wrote a double-page spread about him and his life this week. He's a man that deserves to be put on a big platform.
100%.
For this light heavyweight rematch, 44-year-old Paul against 38-year-old Dean Patterson, fighting here at home. Just a couple of pounds different on the scale. Everything else is virtually identical. Tail of the tape brought to you by Vortex with the official introductions. Hey, Mo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Planet Ice Arena here in Bristol, England, and live on Vice TV, we arrive at the light heavyweight division, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. This bout is brought to you by Clue Nicotine Pouches, and our referee in charge when the bell rings is Andy Albrighton. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with pink trim, he stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 173.3 pounds. He is a veteran of 2 professional bare knuckle bouts, and he fights out of right here in Bristol, England. Introducing Dean Patterson. And now his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, one of the most seasoned bare knuckle fighters in the world, wearing the black trunks with gold and camouflage trim. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 170.8 pounds. He holds a professional bare knuckle record of 9 victories versus 8 defeats, and he fights out of South End, England. Introducing Paul Soul Stitcher Hilz.
Heavy heart for Paul Hilz here tonight. He said, "This fight is for you, Dad." His father passed away at the start of the camp. Paul said, "I just lost my pops, David, and I am fighting for Pops tonight in this rematch against Dean Patterson." Here we go. Black and gold trunks for Paul Hilz. Dean Patterson in the black and pink trunks.
You know, Paul thrives off the booze and being disliked. He thrives off it. He feeds off it. It'll inspire him. And in his corner, Simon Haycock, of course, has got a lot of bare-knuckle fighters at his gym. You know, a lot of bare-knuckle fighters. He had Dan Putmore for a long time. So he knows what he's doing, and I think he's improved, Paul.
Good start from Patterson, though, guys, going to the body and very tucked up. He's had a bit of success with a few strikes already of punches on Paul Hilz.
Paul Hilz popped his left shoulder in the first round of the first fight between these two men. Ended up winning the fight late in the second round, not midway point in the second round, 2:46 of round number 2. They battle again here in Bristol. Dean Patterson straight out said, "The loss is what drives me in a 10-week camp," and he lives 10 minutes from the Planet Ice Arena where we are this evening.
Very noticeable, sorry Tom, very noticeable that he's got massive support in here as well.
Well, it's his own down, of course. But Paul Hilz had an amazing glove boxing career, as you know.
Yes.
He did well at boxing. 3-3 he was, I think, at the end when he decided bare knuckle was for him.
And bare knuckle is for him. 18th bare knuckle fight tonight. His first was back in June of 2019. He has literally averaged a fight every 4 months since that time. And 8 of his 9 wins have come by TKO or KO. Patterson got the flurry in, but Hilz just missed with that counter right.
Yeah, but Hilz landed a fantastic jab just before that, Mike, and it shook Patterson, who acknowledged it to him. This fight is now on. Patterson's ahead right now in punch volume, but Hilz is coming back into the fight.
I'm looking at Hilz. He's got that front on. It's like really face on, front on. He just wants to fight Paul Hilz.
Great left-rights from Hilz there as well, and what he's done, he's been very efficient so far, and that kind of peekaboo style that he uses to defend himself has been very effective.
About to approach, 30 seconds on the clock, round number 1. Out of the ring for 8 years was Dean Patterson before his BKB debut against David Winiarski in Leeds, October of last year.
He told us as well, if you remember, that for the last fight he wasn't fit. He said he's really had a good camp now and he's fit for this fight.
That was a really smart round by Hilz as we come to the end of it, where he weathered a storm, took the punches, and you can see the fatigue in Patterson, who's having to drop his arms every now and again now. And I think we could see Hilz come out and fight harder in the second round. Really smart work from Paul.
The corner of D. Patterson, the action from round number 1. You know what? Good adjustment there, Tom, by Patterson. Paul always has that high guard, right? So he went off the arm, and so he went down to the body immediately.
Well, it's the way to get people to drop their hands for the head is to go for the body, work the body, kill the head.
But there was still he's throwing at the end of that flurry as Hilz when Patterson's thrown, and he did catch him with that right over the top. He gets his attention every single time he lands.
Pops David tonight. Getting set for round number 2 of this rematch. Paul Hilz, black and gold trunks. Dean Patterson, black and pink trunks. Both had their moments in the first 3 minutes of this 5-round battle.
The first fight, this is the round it finished, wasn't it?
Yep. Only thing missing is Paul popping his shoulder out, which I'm sure he's happy about. But Patterson he's got his head, hey, if I don't win this one tonight, this might be it. This might be it for me.
His hands, Mike, so you want to, that's a push. You're hoping that his hands are not, fragile. You know what I mean? We'll soon find out tonight. But he says they're fine. We asked him the question, he said they're fine. Yeah, I was telling him, no pushing.
Paul was very excited about it.
He weren't going to shake hands then, was he?
Nope. 50-plus fights, Paul Hilz has never missed weight. Picked up the gloves at age 28 due to that spinal condition. Didn't turn pro until 34. So many doctors said you'll never do this. Well, here he is, a decade and a half later, still doing it, still doing it very well.
Patterson looks good in this fight, though, compared to the last one. Looks really good.
It's all or nothing. I do it for myself. I am self-inspired.
Big battle of will and skill in the second round. He's knocked him down.
And Hilz had something to say to Patterson as he scores the second round knockdown. It is all over in the second once again. For Pops, for David, son Paul Hilz earns his 10th career bare-knuckle victory, his 9th win by stoppage.
It shows you, it's not about how good you look, it's not about being ahead on points, it's about winning the fight. And he came up with the goods, because he's got a desire and a will that really is unbelievable.
He is. When that documentary comes out, it will be must-see TV.
100%, because I'd watch it as well. I mean, I like the guy.
And he's very transparent.
When you say, you've heard the saying, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
That's the man.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
you see is what you get. There's no side to him, there's no ifs. When I met him, I didn't even like the guy, right, when I first met him. We've become really close now because I trust him. I like Dean Patterson, all these fighters. Look at him. He's just loving it.
Paul Hilz is 2-0 against Bristol's own Dean Patterson. Our official decision is coming up next. Welcome back to BKB 45. Paul Hilz at 44 years old earns his 10th career bare knuckle victory to make it official. Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Andy Albrighton calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 30 seconds of the second round, declaring your winner by TKO, Paul Soul Snatcher Hilz.
The tears are flowing already. This one for Pops is going to be an emotional interview with Garrett. There is Pops. What a great tribute to his father.
I'm here with Paul Hilz. First of all, Paul, how does it feel on a very emotional night with this flag behind us?
Yeah, it's pretty much unbelievable. What I've just done, it means nothing to no one else. It means everything to me. I faced a lot in this camp, losing my father, and knowing that Dean was going to come with all the people, the support, and with the bad intentions to get back his loss. Yeah, the pressure was on me. I'm an old fucker out here, I'm 44. Dean's younger, in better physical good shape. And yeah, he took the challenge in front of all you guys supporting him. He put the pressure right on me. I lost my dad 3-4 weeks ago, and it means so much to me, this whole thing. Yeah, and thank you very much, support. Thank you.
Well done, Clive Ellison, too. Sorry, Garrett. Now you can truly see the poster behind him. You guys continue, please.
No, we can see the poster behind us. Love you, Pops. You're always an emotional character. It's why we love you. You're starting to get props for your career at the age of 44. A brilliant game plan tonight behind that peekaboo guard in the first round and making your fight tell with the efficiency of your punches.
How funny is this? I said to Simon, my coach, before we went, should I try a bit more elusive shit? You know, this, that, and the other. He went, Paul, it suits some people, not you, bruv. Stick with your hands up, throw your shots, and that is what I stuck with. And that's what got us the win, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what, Gareth, I spoke to you, I was on it, mate. He would have to kill me dead to not make me succeed tonight, mate.
How long can you go on?
I don't know, I don't give a fuck. I'll keep pushing. You want to see me fight? I'll still throw everything on the line. I'm one of the most committed fighters there is. You won't see no one throw it on the line like I do against anybody in the fucking world. So I'll go along, I'll go on as long as you lot want me to, okay? Thank you, BYB, BKB. Thank you, everyone, okay?
Paul Hilz, that's why they call him the Soul Snatcher.
For you, Dad, rest in peace, David. Congratulations, Paul Hilz. Another finish in his very long and successful and ultra-entertaining bare knuckle career. So tonight, we're back in the UK. Next time we see you, we'll be close to the border. We can even look at Niagara Falls. BKB Bare Knuckle Boxing makes its New York debut Saturday, September 27th for BKB 46. Empire State Brawl from the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino in Salamanca. In the main event, the top two featherweights go head-to-head when the champion, Harold McQueen, looks to defend his title against #1 contender, Jean-Pierre Ramirez. BKB Cruiserweight World Champion Cub Hawkins looks for his 8th victory inside the Trigon. And former BKB Heavyweight World Champion DJ Linderman returns to face Hawaii's tough man, Dylan Rush. Plus, Ryan Jett, Marlon Moncado, and more. Visit bkbbareknuckle.com for tickets and information. The champion against the top contender, and the border I was speaking of was U.S. and Canada, of course, with Niagara Falls, upstate New York. We have got a great card, and it's just a few weeks away. Cub Hawkins is on the card. DJ Linderman, Dylan Rush, Jet, Moncado is the promo mentioned. That is Saturday, September 27th. Coming up next, we are set for a Bridgerweight battle. Rob Boardman and a man they call Skurtu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Bristol, England. And welcome back to all of you viewers joining us on Vice TV as we now arrive in the Bridgerweight division, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, making his way to the Trigon, please welcome Vladimir Skurtu.
You doing your homework? Yeah. We're gonna come out for a little bit. Thank you very much. That means a lot. A lot. Thank you. This is key, but it's a good one when you're broadcast. People say that better leave some on the table, right? Okay, cool. Cool. Yep. Vladimir Skurtu. Bridgerweight battle. The 24-year-old looks to move to 3-0 inside the Trigon. To do so, they'll have to wrestle down and outbox the great white Rob Boardman.
Talking to Rob Boardman. Rob, last time we spoke, 2020. You were 4-0 and then disappeared off the planet.
I keep thinking I've had enough. I've had enough, but then I realised how good it is for my mind, how good it is for my family, how much it's more confident it makes you as a person, getting the buzz out of selling tickets and things like that. It's all positive, do you know what I mean? There's nothing negative about it, and it took me a long time to realise that. Here I am at 37.
Back with BKB.
Back with BKB, the best.
So, yeah.
There he is.
Been good, man.
I'm 5 weights below me. It looks bigger than me every fucking time.
You're going to be fighting Vladimir Skurtu. What do you know about him?
I don't know a lot about him. Only the fights that I've seen him. I think he's not to be underestimated. He can be quite heavy-handed. He can be dangerous. But he can be complacent. If you hit him hard enough, he does go down. But if you put him down, you've got to make sure that he stays down. So you might have to put him down a couple of times once the pressure's on him to keep it on him. Okay, Vladimir. Thank you for coming. Do you know what? I'm not going to underestimate you. I think it'll be a good fight. Yeah, look forward to it. Welcome to Bristol. Yeah, I'm going to try my very best, and I'm sure you will as well. Keep your fucking hands up, son.
And now, fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the Trigon, please welcome Boardman.
Welcome back inside Planet Ice Arena here in Bristol, England. And we are absolutely honored to be joined by Paul Smith. And Paul, all right, I'm American, so if it's really corny, you can tell me, but are you the boxing Beatles, you and your three brothers?
It's a big shoes to fill, but you could say that. We're probably the second best foursome from Liverpool, put it that way.
There you go, there you go. So are you McCartney?
Yeah, definitely McCartney.
There you go.
Definitely, yeah. Paul.
There you go. And the best is that you taught Stephen and Liam and Callum everything, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to take credit for that. I taught them everything. They wouldn't be anywhere without me with the big brother. Now they just followed me to the boxing gym, and we all just happen to be good at fighting with gloves on.
Yep.
Some of us without gloves on as well.
I'm sure, yeah.
And
In the family room.
And how amazing is it that two brothers have fought Canelo Alvarez and you fought Andre Ward? There's something in the blood in your family.
It's the family and it's Liverpool as well. I think a lot of people in Liverpool will be enjoying events like this, put it that way. Good honest fighting. They like a fight, they like a pint, they like to sing, they like to play football, they like to box.
Like a fight, like a pint?
Yeah.
We are in the UK, aren't we? Yeah. We are in the UK. All right, let's get things started. Paul's going to call this fight with us our tail of the tape for this Bridger weight battle. Rob the Great White Boardman, 37 years old. Vladimir Skurtu, just 24 years old. It is Boardman with a sizable reach advantage, but it is Skurtu who is 4 inches taller. Tail of the tape brought to you by Vortex. Official introductions brought to you by Big Mo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Planet Ice Arena here in Bristol, England, we have arrived at the Bridgerweight division, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. This bout is brought to you by Vortex Events. Our referee in charge when the bell rings is Clive Allison. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with white trim, He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. He weighed in at 225.5 pounds. He holds a professional bare knuckle record of 2 victories versus just 1 defeat. And he fights out of Chernihiv, Ukraine. Introducing Vladimir Skurtu. And now his opponent, standing across the trigon, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighed in at 216 pounds. Tonight, he enters the trigon with a professional bare knuckle record of 6 victories versus just 1 defeat. And he fights out of Western England, introducing Rob the Great White Boardman.
Mike Goldberg, a very special guest in Paul Smith. Gareth A. Davies set to call this Bridger weight battle, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Vlad and the Great White. Here we go! Boardman in the black and gold, Skurtu in the black and white. And as we look at this fight, and you are a commentator now, Paul, I really want to know what brought you here, what gravitated you to come to this event tonight.
I was asked to come to the event if I liked it. I said I liked it straight away. And this is the action why. I love watching Rob Boardman. I've seen him a few times. He's got a good record in glove boxing. He's attacking here. He's offensive. He really likes that go. He's aggressive. He's walked on to a couple of shots. This is great action.
Yeah, but the thing is about Skurtu, he's very heavy-handed. He's under pressure at the moment, but his counter-punches are very good. But Boardman, at 37, looks phenomenal.
He is fired up for this fight, too. He's really worked hard. Never underestimates anybody. Skurtu's just 24 years old, Paul.
Yeah, lovely chat there from Boardman. I like watching Boardman. I've seen him before, obviously the amateurs and the pros in glove boxing, but he's direct, he's straight to the point, he's straight lunging in with these shots, but he's just so aggressive, and he's a big lad as well. You know, he's got a fair bit of ability about him, Rob.
And what he's doing very cleverly is using his boxing skills of range and timing against Skurtu, who's really one single-handed. People underestimate him, and he's taken people out with one punch. Boardman's using great boxing skills right now, but he's just having to have a little breather.
You rightly called it before the fight. Boardman has the better reach, and he's using that at the moment with that big, long, straight jab. He's better sticking to the straight shots here, in my opinion.
Bristol boxing legend Dean Cooper in his corner tonight, as you mentioned. Good glove background for this shot. Just landed a big right hand, and down goes Skurtu.
You might as well say it, Mr. Goldie. I think it's all over.
Well, it is all over. Just like that. Wow.
What a shot. What a lovely shot. All his weight behind it. Big overhand right hand. Skurtu is still on the floor and still in a bad way at the moment. Hopefully he'll be fine. Everyone will be okay. Good medical team around him, but what a shot.
What Boardman did brilliantly there, he stuck to his game plan of flurries of hooks, and he kept up the work against Skurtu until Skurtu was no more.
Which I'm sure, Paul, is what you saw as he grew up with the gloves on. He stayed with that style, didn't he?
Yeah, listen, he was a good amateur. He won a couple of national titles as a junior, if I'm not mistaken, and champion of Great Britain as a junior. It's obviously good standard to grow up with. Big overhand right over the top. Really good shot there. All his power in it. Leverage, little body shot there for good measure also. And I think once he hit the floor there, Skurtu wasn't going to get back up.
I think with Boardman, he was almost an elite-level boxer in the UK as an amateur, and I think he said to us in the fighter interviews that it's in his soul. To be primeval in bare knuckle is something he's always wanted to do, and boxing never gave him the true fulfillment that he needed as a gladiator. We saw that tonight.
Rob Boardman fought for Team Great Britain against Italy in the under-19s, beat an Italian national champion. Tonight, he wins his BKB debut. The official decision is coming up next.
hopefully there's more of it. I can't wait.
Yes, I like the way you're thinking. I think there might be. There's a guy named Magic Man fighting that you'd be a good one to have by me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love how you guys do in the States, like, really get into it.
Yeah.
It's difficult to make some fights sound good when it's not good. You do it brilliantly.
Well, you do it now too. That's when you make your money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Like you want to call the 85 Bears 45-3, 45-10. That's a hard game.
Exactly.
You want to call one that's back and forth in the last second field, or you just got to shut up. Stay out of the way, right? Mo, big Mo. He's the rapidly rising
so
star.
good.
He is take over.
He is.
And you've been able to see it because boxer
It's
here.
not just the voice, also he's good. He remembers the nicknames.
Yep.
He pronounces them right. He gets the crowd going. He's good. I rate him. I like him as well. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a super nice
He's a good guy.
He's a good friend. When he first came on, he had the sunglasses. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we're in Biloxi, Mississippi, my wife and I. And we asked about the sunglasses. He goes, well, it sets me different. I go, you're 6'7", bro.
Exactly. He's only done it to set you apart.
Yeah.
What a name as well, Big Mo.
Exactly. Hey, we're not letting Paul Smith go anywhere. He is going to call the next fight with us as well. But first and foremost, to make this one official, Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Clive Allison calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute 54 seconds of the very first round. Declaring your winner by knockout, the Great White, Boardman.
He didn't want to overthink things for this one, up a weight class, and he gets the win. Scored 6 finishes in his 7 fights, including tonight. He will visit with Gary.
Well, I am here indeed with Mr. Rob Boardman. You talked about soul searching as a gladiator, as a warrior.
Yeah.
Did you fulfill some of that tonight?
Definitely, yeah. Maybe I was inspired by our interview. I mean, obviously, other things play a big part in my life, like my wife and kids. I'd be no well without them. It's her birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday, my beautiful wife, Becky. And I love my boys, Ryan and Rue, and all of my heart. Love you, boys. And big thanks to my corner, Dean Cooper, a friend from Bristol that was there for me years ago. And yeah, thanks. I'll just shut him now.
Rob, let's talk a little bit about your game plan and the way you fought tonight. You stuck to your guns, beautiful jab to begin with, and when you had him on the ropes, you threw flurries of hooks and a little body shot just to finish him off. A flurry of hooks.
All right. I don't even remember, to tell you the truth.
You clearly remembered the game plan.
Yeah. I mean, he can still punch. I felt him. He clocked me, and I felt it. He's a strong lad, you know. I mean, he should be proud of himself for being here in the first place. So everybody should here tonight. I'm sure everybody's having a fabulous evening. Everybody's a warrior, win or lose. You know, you got to admire it.
We saw your Trigon debut tonight. How did you find the Trigon?
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, perfect. Well suited for myself.
You're not going anywhere then, yeah?
Sorry?
You're not going anywhere.
No, not for a while. I'll have a few more. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the warrior that is, the gladiator that is, Rob Boardman, gents.
Congratulations, victorious in his BKB debut. Paul, no one in your family was ever a runner. They never avoided the conflict. But in that surface here, when you walked in and first saw it, were you amazed how small it is?
Yeah, it looks big from the side because it's a similar size to a boxing glove boxing ring, a square ring, but then you see how narrow that gets in that corner over there. And then all of a sudden you stand in that one, and this one's down, and all of a sudden you realise there's nowhere to go in there, there's nowhere to hide. But I think from my limited experience of watching BKB, if you run and hide, you're probably not going to win anyway. And it's the aggressive ones who tend to win. It's the aggressive ones who come forward, who land more shots. And in this trigon, you can't take the odd little jab that you're willing to take in glove boxing because you could bust your eye up, you could bust your lip, you know, before you've seen that instance tonight where fights have been stopped because of facial injuries. Yep. So you can't afford to take chances in there. So in my opinion, and I may be completely wrong, but we're seeing a lot of boxers coming to this and getting beat in the first round, second round, because they think you have more time and you don't.
Yep, and Paul, we're going to get to Tom Ross, who we let him go for a little bit, so he took his mic with him. We'll get to Tom in a moment, but what we have seen in the evolution of bare knuckle boxing is more people who have the skill set, like you and your family, who have the skill set, like Rob Boardman. Now we have true boxers doing boxing-type things without the gloves on.
Yep, and you know what it is? I'm watching this tonight. This isn't a circus, this is safe, this is organized. This is organized chaos, shall we say, once the bell goes. But you know that you're safe in there, you're looked after by a good referee, you've got a top medical team outside, you check thoroughly before you get in the ring, your hands are taped halfway up but not on the knuckles, so it is two bare knuckle fighting. And therefore you're in there, you know you've got a chance, you know you're not going to get hit with illegal elbows, headbutts, back of the head. It's all by a rule, governance, which boxers or glove boxers like me, ex-boxers, would feel safe in there. So therefore, more people are coming over to do it.
So I would say we have you hooked, and we also have found Tom Ross in the crowd. Tom.
Joined here at the Planet Ice Arena in Bristol with Dan Podmore. And Dan, firstly, enjoying the show?
I'm enjoying the show, yeah. There's been some very good fights so far. I enjoyed that one just. Well done to Rob Boardman. That was a great finish.
With the Bridgerweight champion, BKB, Dan Podmore. Let's get straight to it. Marco Marquinhos wants you badly.
Well, he can want me badly, he can get me. We're going to have it in October, next month. You know, I'm going to be defending my bout against Marco. He's coming up to my weight, and he's in a world of trouble. He's in a big world of pain. You know, he's getting hurt.
He came up to you at Wolverhampton, he came to ringside, and he was quite disrespectful. Are you ready for it?
Listen, you know, I don't think it'll ever be disrespectful between me and Marco, but, you know, he can't come up into my weight, you know, after getting knocked out by 185ers, thinking that he can come up against a 225er and then not get knocked out. He's getting knocked out. Simple.
Simple as?
Simple as that. And listen, it's my bout and it ain't going nowhere.
Put your hands together, the wonderful Dan Podmore. Thank you very much indeed.
Coming up a Bridgerweight fight, Tom, and visiting with our Bridgerweight World Champion. And you want to get the build up to our next few fights? This is where you can find us on social media.
BKB fans, don't miss highlights, news, and much more on all your favorite fighters and events. For minute-by-minute updates, follow us on all social media platforms by visiting bkbbareknuckle.com/follow.
Hey, we're fortunate enough to have you. Our main event later tonight, another fighting family in the Canellis, James Connelly and Martin the Rebel Reffell. As we bump to break and talk about the main event, I'm going to give it to you, Paul. So tell us what you think we might see in this fight. There is James Connelly, the truth.
I've seen James a few times. I laugh and joke and say he's mad as a box of frogs because I don't think I could do the way he does it, but he just loves it. He lives for it, and he gives everything he's got as he's fighting, but he's technically good as well. His game, obviously, there's not a single person who's got in that Saigon tonight who isn't game, who hasn't got the heart and desire. And we've seen with Reffell, he's nice and calm and relaxed. He looked in good shape yesterday on the scales, and I've been around the hotel while he's been there watching him, and he's very, very relaxed, chilled out, and looked almost like he's enjoying himself today rather than some of the other fighters who've seen him be feeling the nerves a little bit.
So you are going to stay with us for the next fight, and that next fight coming up next is Joe Smith and the Smoke from Stoke, Simey Doherty super welterweight matchup. This is BKB 45.
that ring, your last name, who you are means fuck all. All you are is entertainment to them. You know what? No matter how many tickets you sell, no matter how good shorts you got, you are entertainment. And you've got to keep them judges entertained.
I'm all for my family, see my friends and family, and I'll try my best no matter what. I haven't got a lot of money, I haven't got a lot of nothing, I'll be honest with you, but I'm here to do a job, like, and I'm coming to win, like, no matter who you are, where you come from, I'm coming, like.
I felt like I nipped it, but he felt like he nipped it. One of them. Like I've said before, man, that's in the past, ain't you? Move on. Oh, fucking that's a boxing match, Jesus. Well, Muhammad Ali lost, so there ain't no harm in me losing. It's never a loss, it's only ever a lesson. At the moment, I've got Joe Smith, so myself personally, I think Joe Smith's probably the hardest fight I've had. I mean, because like when you looked at him against Tyler Goodon, he looked fucking brilliant.
How quick is Smith, by the way?
Oh, absolute
speed is excellent.
To be honest with you, I thought they had it. Judges give it the other way. There's nothing you can do about a spot man or whatever, but the best man win on the night, no.
Everybody's only as good as their opponent lets them to be. God willing, I'll be the better man.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Planet Ice Arena in Bristol, England, as we move towards our highly anticipated main event. But before we get to that, we have arrived in the super welterweight division, as this next bout is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds inside the smallest fighting surface in combat sports, this mighty Trigon. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Joe Smith.
Gypsy Joe Smith, one of the many prides of Swansea, Wales. Of course, Dan Lerwell in our co-main event of the evening. And Gareth, I know you know Paul very, very well, but this is something I think you'll really appreciate about Joe Smith. He said, I'm an old school fighter. I'm front foot, aggressive. I'm just coming in to do my job. Kind of like the point we talked about earlier, the evolution of having true boxers without the gloves utilize true boxing skills.
Yeah, and if you want to do this, again, it's just my opinion, and I may be wrong, but I think you need to be aggressive, offensive, and on the front foot. I don't think too many boxers who are tidy, slick, classy boxers on the back foot can have much success in bare knuckle boxing, BKB.
That's why we talk about amateur boxing and pro boxing that's gloved being different sports, don't we? And in their family, I know you've spoken about the family.
You mean the boxing Beatles?
Stephen, Liam, Callum and Paul, there's one of the 4 of you that stands out as more of a bare knuckle fighter than the other 3. Who is it?
Well, yeah, probably Liam, but I think Stephen would be good also because of his short, compact style. Callum's really tall, although he's probably the best glove boxer out of a lot of us, and a 2-weight world champion at the moment. But Liam loves a fight. Liam loves a scrap, let's say. He's had a few at the football, and I think he would obviously be good in bare knuckle. And I think also Stephen would be, because he was a featherweight, super featherweight. He's only 5'7", he's short and compact. He throws a good punch, he's got very good power and a good chin.
Are you going to step in there or not?
I don't know, I think I'm a little bit old. And at the end of the day, it's a young man's sport. Glove boxing certainly is. This is shorter rounds, but it's a lot more brutal. And I was up for it before I came tonight. And I've seen a few of the injuries, and I'm thinking, maybe I'm best sitting this side of the microphone.
And you've had a great bare knuckle career, beating up your little brothers.
Yeah, definitely.
Back at home growing up, right?
Yeah,
that's bare knuckle fight.
This does excite me, it really does. Enzo Canelli's over there, former WBO light heavyweight cruiserweight champion of the world, sorry. And he's sitting there and he's probably thinking, I would love to go with this. But the reality of it is when you step in there and everyone steps out, and it's the old feelings of being in the glove boxing again, but someone's pushing you with no gloves on, and you've seen the hurt in some of the faces tonight of the opponents that have took a knee, and rightfully so, because there's facial damage. It's a totally different game, and much respect to every single one of them doing it, because I'm really entertained tonight.
Enzo's flirted with it many times. He had one of the biggest punches pound for pound in British boxing.
Can you imagine Enzo Canelli hitting you without the glove on?
No. No, thank you.
It's scary, the thought of it.
Thank God he's too old.
Yeah, and Spence McCracken has been with the Canelli brothers for a long time. You bring up a great point, Paul, is when you see these type of trainers training men without the gloves. We've had Freddie Roach in the corner inside the Trigon. We've had Robert Garcia. Like, we have had the top, the elite. And that says something about the evolution of bare knuckle boxing.
Absolutely, and I go back to what I was saying. It isn't a circus, it's very well organised. And outsiders looking in may assume it's like the old days with the hay bales and no rules and the odd elbow. No, there's no fouls in there. The referee is keeping charge. You are safe in there, apart from the usual, unsafeness of being punched in the face or the body. But you're going to see a lot more people from glove boxing coming over to bare knuckle boxing.
Like early on when I was in the UFC, two men will enter the octagon. Only one will leave.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the Trigon. Please welcome, Simey Doherty.
Early one morning while making the round, I took a shot of cocaine and I shot my woman down. I went right home and I went to bed. I stuck that 1144 beneath my head. Got up next morning and I grabbed that gun. Took a shot of cocaine and away I run. Made a good run, but I run too slow. They overtook me down in Juarez, Mexico.
The smoke from Stoke. And what a personality Simey Doherty has. He was trying to take us clubbing last night. Like, it's show night, Simey. I hope he didn't go clubbing last night, Paul.
I went in the dressing room before to see my friends down Lerwell to wish him good luck. Simey's warming up, and he said, "Come on, Paul." And he squared up to me. He's been doing this since we got here. He just loves it. He talked to me about glove boxing. He was asking about my brothers, whether they'd be interested in fighting. He's just fighting mad, and he's obsessed with it. You can see it when he's fighting and when he's also getting ready. He's had a smile on his face since I got here yesterday morning.
The fascinating thing about what we're talking about, around the hay bales, this kid comes out of that dynasty, the traveller community. It's their national sport. It's how they sort out disputes. And we're going to see stylistically tonight a guy with incredible bare-knuckle boxing royalty skills against a guy in Joe Smith who brings loads of action.
So
very interesting stuff.
The gypsy against the gypsy? Because we got Gypsy Joe.
Gypsy is, Joe isn't a true traveller.
Well,
at time he is a traveller. No. Verbally it is, but stylistically it's very different.
I really didn't know much, about gypsies until that really big dude was the heavyweight champion for a long time. Biggest dude ever.
The king of the gypsies.
There you go. Our tail of the tape for this super welterweight matchup. Simey Doherty, 29 years old. Joe Smith, 5 years his elder. Both are 5'9". It is Joe Smith who will have the reach advantage. Wales against England. And here is Big Mo. Tail of the tape brought to you by Vortex.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside the Planet Ice Arena here in Bristol, England. Tonight's home of the mighty Trigon, and tonight's home of BKB Bare Knuckle Boxing, as we now arrive at the super welterweight division. Scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds, this bout is brought to you by Clue Nicotine Pouches. Our referee in charge when the bell rings is Ian John Lewis. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks with white trim. He stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall. He weighed in at 150.5 pounds. He holds an even bare knuckle record of 1 victory, opposite 1 defeat. And he fights out of Swansea, Wales. Standing across the trigon, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with pink and silver trim, he stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall. He weighed in at 151.6 pounds. Tonight, he enters the trigon with a professional bare knuckle record of 5 victories, opposite 2 defeats, and he fights out of Stoke-on-Trent, England. Introducing the smoke from Stoke, Simey, Doherty.
It's go time.
Fight scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Here we go. Simey Doherty in the white and pink trunks, blue trunks for Joe Smith, and immediately, and you know this though, Paul, you see one of the big differences in bare knuckle, especially in BKB, and that is the utilization of the clinch in a much different way.
Yeah, it is, and again, like we were saying, if you're a glove boxer, you're not used to that. That's going to take you by surprise. Because for years and years and years, you condition yourself to when you get inside to relax and you're safe.
Yep.
And then this you're not safe.
Sometimes you're at the most danger, right, Gareth?
Exactly.
Yeah, I do, but I think Doherty's being really smart here by trying to tie Gypsy Joe up early, because Gypsy Joe smothers you with punches, and he's going to get his knees to try and find his rhythm. Lovely right hand by Joe Smith, though.
So you get some fighters coming over with that MMA background, which is obvious, but the Thai fighters, the kickboxers, utilizing the plum clinch also, Paul, is a big advantage, or can be utilized as a big advantage.
Yeah, it's probably easier to clinch inside without the gloves on either.
For sure.
Big gloves getting in your way, or even small 4-ounce mitts, you still get in the way sometimes. Your hand can slide underneath the arm easily to get the underhook in as well, to then let go with the opposite hand.
In his last performance, Simon Doherty was very evasive, moved around a lot, and lost the fight based on not being active enough. This time he's smothering, as I say, the work of Gypsy Joe to try and find his punches. His jab's been effective so far, and Smith looks frustrated at the moment.
Well, Simey said of his opponent, Joe Smith, he won't try to box me, because if he is, my pedigree will take over his pedigree in that type of fight.
Yeah, and if you watch Simey, every time Gypsy Joe comes forward, Simey takes a little push out of range with the feet to try and counter him.
Fast hands too.
He does.
Good to see the body shots from Doherty this time. In his last fight, he didn't throw a right hand till the 3rd round because he thought he was winning the fight easily. This is great movement and balance from him so far. Very impressive.
So Joe Smith's last opponent was Tyler Goodjohn. It was Saturday, October 18th in Leeds. The Magic Man, the former 2-time world champion, Paulie Malignaggi, comes back to bare knuckle. First time he will come into the Trigon against Tyler Goodjohn. Age is a number, I know you will say that, but you know, Paul, you know his fighting style very well. What do you expect to see against a very tough out in Tyler Goodjohn?
Listen, from what I've been seeing, I was in the same gym as Paulie years ago with Buddy McGirt in Vero Beach, and training alongside him. He looks in good shape.
Yeah.
So whatever he's doing, he must be really hungry for it. Otherwise, he wouldn't do it. You know, he's got a successful broadcasting career, but he's a very, very talented, smart, clever boxer. Paulie Malignaggi, and Tyler Goodjohn is probably better in the bare knuckle than he was in the glove boxing. He's made a bit of a name for himself.
And he was a very good glove boxer as well. He was one of the highlight reel guys 10, 12 years ago. Great work at the end of that round by Doherty, by the way, in the clinch, throwing uppercuts. Clear first round for me.
If you were in the corner of the Magic Man next month, as we take a look at some of the replays, Paul, and I want to keep getting your thoughts on Paulie, because such a huge moment for us here at BKB. If you were in his corner, if you were his trainer, what would you have Paulie focus on as he gets ready to come back without the gloves?
Me personally, the style of BKB, I'd have him clinching inside, protecting himself inside. I'd have him maybe using small mitts to spar in rather than actually sparring a bit. Well, obviously, but I would also have him trying to condition his body. When you've been out the ring for so long, a shot to the body will hurt probably a lot more than what it did when you were regularly fighting and staying hard and conditioned in the gym. I know now if anyone pretends to hit me in the body, I know it'd hurt me because I'm not conditioned to fight anymore.
Well, he was carrying a barrel for a long time. He had the keg, now he's got the six-pack.
Yeah, even though the fight was delayed, he was in fantastic shape when he stripped off for the press conference and the weigh-ins when they showed us. And he's got a fantastic jab, Malinashi, as these two go at it.
Beginning of round number 2, and it continues to be a good back-and-forth battle. The smoke from Stoke in white and pink. Joe Smith, Gypsy Joe, from Wales in the blue trunks. Simey looking for his first victory inside the Trigon. Very close fight, worthy of a rematch. Back in Wolverhampton in March against David Winiarski, split decision. And for Joe Smith, it was the durability of Tyler Goodjohn that we just talked about, Paul, that earned Tyler that win, because Joe put it on him and put him on it for 5 straight rounds.
Yeah, and he's having a good go here, Joe Smith. He's having a bit of success because Simey Doherty isn't using the feet to push out the range. He's trying to lean back out the range, and it's not far enough. Smith is still landing with the overhand right hand. She has to push out the range for me, Simey Doherty, to try and land these counter shots.
What Tyler Goodjohn did in that fight, though, was get on the inside and move from the waist and be very evasive. You can see the guy with the higher IQ in this fight, even in bare knuckle IQ, and it is Doherty. But he's got to keep the level of focus because he's going to get caught.
No knockdown, but Smith did land. Not once, not twice, but about 3 times in that clinch. And again, a lot of clinch work, and that will neutralize and nullify the great pure boxing skills of Simey Doherty by turning it into a battle in the clinch and inside the full box, as you guys say we're here.
Yeah. Simey is holding a lot and he is clinching a lot, but he's not attacking and being aggressive when he's holding. And that is playing into Smith's hands, in my opinion, in this round.
And there's a bit of fatigue in Doherty in this round as well.
A little bit skew think, Gareth, you're right.
And for years, you know, my experience was MMA. When you work in the clinch, Paul, and you know this, Gareth, because we work together, that is the most exhausting type of fight when you're carrying your opponent's weight.
Yeah, you've got to be smart. You don't want to wrestle. You don't want to rough and tumble and tussle inside. You want to try and be smart. Use your opponent's weight against him. Use his momentum against him, and try and land the sneaky shot when you can. But obviously, that's in glove boxing when you can't actually hit and hold and hit. In this, you should be utilising that a lot. If you can do that and get away with it because it's legal, then you should be doing a lot more of it.
Final seconds of round number 2.
The mouth guard's come out, hasn't it?
I thought it was called a gum shield.
Well, we call it a mouth guard. You had this round with Tom for about 6 hours on the last 2. We can call it a mouthpiece.
We call it a mouth guard.
Mouth guard is fine.
Ring.
I said mouthpiece because I'm sitting next to an American.
There you go.
Well, it fell out anyway.
I said gum shield because I'm afraid of you.
There you go.
But his teeth are still intact. That's the main thing.
Yes. And mine are what got my
yours are
dentist.
quite beautiful.
Yeah, well, yeah, and so is my dentist card because of it. I went from the Hollywood Bridge after getting 2 knocked out at 9 years old in hockey to, well, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. And oh, by the way, I cracked a tooth this morning.
It must be a wonderful car.
Now, so it doesn't hurt.
It's a top of the range car then, yeah?
It is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And she'll be excited to know she can put new rims on it because I got to go back in, get more porcelain.
Well, the mouth guard is back in.
All right. Peter Welch, very, very prominent Southie boxer, great boxing trainer, would always say, we'll use the Boston here, smart feet, smart fighter.
Yeah. This is the thing with Boston, it's very similar to Liverpool in their accent and the fact that they're like a pint, like a fight like us, you know. But also they produce some great fighters and great fighting spirit also. they're right what they're saying, smart feet. You know, I think Simey needs to use his feet a little more this round. Just push out to range 6 or 8 inches. Whenever Smith's attacking, and then unload the shots, counter and let them go.
Otherwise he's going to be worn down.
Yeah, but at the moment he's just leaning and he's still getting caught by Smith.
And remember the movie The Departed? Of course, right? And the scene where Leo's in prison for a half a second and he talks to somebody and like not very smart guy. And that was Peter's cameo. Okay, that was Peter's cameo on the movie. He's probably still getting, you know, $3 checks from SAG because of it.
You can see Doherty just having a little breather there. He's blowing a little bit and feeling the pace of this.
There's that boxing. If he can get the space, he can use his true skill set. And he's got some great quotes. One is, training's good, fighting's better, making love is the best. I cleaned that up for television, but this is one I know you'll like. If you don't see eye to eye, you have to go toe-to-toe. He's a clever lad.
And that is how a lot of them lads settle the disputes. And as I say, I'm a big fan of it. You know, if you've got a problem, you settle it. Hands only, you shake hands, you walk away. But this should suit Doherty right to the ground tonight, Simey. This should really suit him, and he should start feeling more at home the longer this fight goes on.
And Gareth, you know this, but Paul, that is our foundation. Our founder, Dada 5000, said, all right, we're going to stop pulling out guns and knives in Miami. Let's just settle it inside a triangle made of rope at that point. But that is how we became what we are today, because Dada did exactly what you said. Hey, solve it, you guys fight, and then shake hands, and then go have a beer. We don't have time to.
Wouldn't the world be a better, more safer place if that was the case with Everton?
Yep.
More elusive work from Doherty in the last minute, guys, where he is utilising his feet, but it's to avoid punches rather than skip around this tiny combat arena. And there is a frustration about Joe Smith, but Doherty needs to press home some advantage now and actually land some punches out of this evasive movement.
A lot of pressure being applied by Joe Smith throughout this fight, and when he can put the pressure on, he's having success, and when Simey has a little room, he's answering.
But it's going to impress the judges that he's putting the pressure on.
Absolutely. Final seconds of round 3. Good uppercut by the Smoke from Stoke.
My word, that was a hard round to score.
Tough, yeah, I agree. I was just going to say, a really tough round to score there. Doherty started coming back into it towards the end, landed a few sneaky shots and then clinching and holding. That will be frustrating for Smith, who I felt was bossing the round earlier on also.
And Doherty told Mike and myself and Tom earlier in the week he's not going to leave it in the hands of the judges this time.
Absolutely.
And yet, ...
Both men went the distance in their last fight and came out with their opponents getting their arm raised. Split decision against Winiarski for that man who was throwing there, Simey Doherty, and Joe Smith going the distance with Tyler Goodjohn. But he did say, leave it out of the hands of the judges. That's always the best way to do it.
To do that, though, you have to open the door. You've got to find that. You've got to unlock the defense. You've got to throw a few disguises in, set a few traps here and there. You can't just go route one. Sometimes you need to dress it up a little bit, and I think Doherty has the sense and the brain to do that.
But he needs to start countering a little bit more as well when he's under attack.
Winnie has space, right?
He's creating the space with a little step onto range. He just doesn't seem to be pulling the trigger at the moment, Simon.
And with that style of fighting that we've all talked about, you wonder whose gas tank is going to survive longer. And if the gas tank starts to deplete for Gypsy Joe, then Simey will be able to take that step back and use his boxing.
With the judges, this style of boxing does not suit them. They like the come-forward guy. They like the aggressor. They don't always look at ring generalship and evasion as the scoring points in a round.
They also don't sit 3 stools together.
No, they don't. They always disagree also.
Yeah.
But he has a good defense, Simey Doherty, when he uses it. He's good at getting out the way of shots. He's good at tying Smith up whenever he misses, which will be frustrating for Smith. You can see him shaking his head there and having a little complaint. There's a point. There we go.
Wow. Point deduction for the headlock, basically. That's big in a fight this close.
Absolutely. And Gypsy Joe has landed a couple of good, heavy shots this round as well.
Well, if there was a sense of urgency for Simey not to leave it in the hands of the judges, with that point deduction, it just went up. Infinitely.
Simey was showing us a fair fight, a gypsy fight he was having recently. I think it went on for 95 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not John L. Sullivan, but a long fight.
Like that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Simey's right hand. He's got a big bump on the right knuckle, and he hasn't been throwing it all that much. These little things like this that you forget in fights like this, you know, it's going to come into play. When your hand's really, really sore, you're not going to want to throw it.
Shots. And that's where everybody's talking about Paulie, because his hands were wrecked when he was working his way up to having that first defeat at the hands of a Hall of Famer in Miguel Cotto.
More intent from Doherty here, and he nearly caught him with a couple of hooks as Joe fell in, but it's a matter of will and skill right now.
Ian John Lewis's got his work cut out for him. He's in a full lather.
Again with Simey, though, if your right hand is sore, I would like to see a lot more jabbing from him here. That was a little shot after the break there from Smith.
Well, we had the fight earlier with Deitzell where the jab literally finished the fight. You connect. And you know what? You commentate now on a regular occasion. That's something Paulie always talks about, because that was his skill set too. Didn't have the big power, so he used the jab. And always jab, 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 and everything comes off.
Listen, Doherty's having a really good round with the jab here. The left eye of Smith is really swollen, and it's getting a good right hand though from Smith again, just to bring the momentum back.
But I do feel it'll be a 10-8 round. But I do feel it'll be a 10-8 round against him.
And in the big picture, that point,
a fight like this.
Yeah.
I think what you were saying about Paulie Malignaggi, he's on BK 46, in Leeds.
47.
47 in Leeds. 46 is New York, isn't it? 47 is in Leeds. The one thing that will prove that Paulie Malignaggi can and should and will do well in BKB is the Miguel Cotto fight, as you just said. Because I haven't seen many more sort of really big, huge displays of heart, bottle, balls, whatever you want to call it. He showed it that night.
That broken jaw.
He took in, he stayed in there, he took his licks like a man, let's say. He took his licks like a fighter that would never quit. And I think if he has that in you, that is in you for life. So he'll certainly have that when it comes to BK 47 in Leeds.
And he also said, I could walk to Barclays Center, and I did back in the day, and you would have thought I was from Jupiter. Once I get in there, it was all about Miguel Cotto.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. What a fight he was back in the day, Paulie. And if he has anything left, he's going to be a welcome addition to this BKB.
Amen.
This is the final round.
3 minutes remain. Simey Doherty, white and pink trunks, blue trunks for Joe Smith. Smith looking for his second victory inside the Trigon. Doherty looking for his first.
Weirdly, Paul, I thought Smith was going to be the frustrated fighter in this contest, but I think it's actually Doherty right now.
Joe said all of his family is here in attendance. He was going to try to box more. Welsh bare knuckle hybrid champion. He's dedicated to training, and he was ready for tonight, and he looks it, as does Simey. But right now, that point deduction more than anything is bad math for the smoke from Stoke.
Speaking of Wales and Welsh fighters, I can see former IBF featherweight world champion Lee Selby sitting in the crowd, really enjoying it. Also, he's shadow boxing, watching this action.
Huge flurry from Smith against Doherty. He was really pouring it on with just under 2 minutes to go now, Mike. Really good work, and Doherty's complaining, looking at the referee. His body language doesn't look great to me.
I think Doherty may be guilty of, his hands look really bad to me. He's very reluctant to throw them.
And there is an art to bare knuckle and aiming for different places than you and your three brothers did your entire career with the gloves on.
Oh, listen, if I had the chance to hit anyone on the side of the head, the top of the side of the head above the ears, that's where I wanted to land in this. You hit anyone above the ear and miss, you're going to have a broken hand.
Yep. It's your hand that's going to shatter, not the head.
Drum shields fell out again. Ian John Lewis sees that. Yeah.
Headbutt from Doherty there, and I think he might have a point taken away again. Oh, he was lucky to get the warning there. definitely was warned for a headbutt then, Mike.
Yeah. Paul, you gave me one freebie and then you went to gum shield. Thank you. Under a minute remains in this super welterweight matchup.
This is an important minute for both fighters here. I think Smith may be just edging it. It's a huge minute.
Seconds. Simey has gone the distance in every fight of his bare-knuckle career. And he's 15 seconds away from it right here, right now.
Oh, this is going to even things up.
Wow. You could say that is a huge mistake, intentional or unintentional, or I should say, in respect to Joe, unintentional or intentional, because now the points are even with the deductions. One for the headlock and one a moment ago against Gypsy Joe. Final seconds of the fight. Despite what both men said, it's in the hands of the judges once again.
I'm going to throw my score out there. I've got it 47-46 to Doherty, but it could easily be the other way.
I agree. Listen, I wasn't scoring that. The general feel of that fight, I think I would side with Smith. But that point off at the end could have even things totally up there. I think it's a coin toss, personally.
Well, we're all going to find out in just a matter of moments, because the official decision of this super welterweight matchup that goes the distance is coming up next.
This is a great idea.
Thank you.
I bring my laptop and have the notes open on two separate windows. Yeah. One always closes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I tried to do this split screen and I'm so dumb.
Like PDFs.
Yeah. PDF. That way I can do this.
It's the color though as well. Just nice and easy. Record down it.
That means a lot. I work hard at it. Same thing I use for UFC.
You can tell.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. You can either do it or you can do it right.
That's why you're still working on the big fight.
Game now. Will it be Doherty or will it be Smith? Here is Big Mo with the official decision.
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Judge number 1 sees the contest 47-46, Doherty. Judge number 2 sees the contest 48-45, Smith. And finally, our third and final judge sees the contest 47-46, declaring your winner by split decision, Simey Doherty!
Split decision goes the way of the smoke from Stoke. And in the end, Paul, that point deduction late in the fight against Gypsy Joe, it basically cost Gypsy Joe the fight.
Yeah, it was crucial, and as you said yourself, while the action's happening, if it was a mistake, which it probably was, then it's a bit of bad luck. If it was intentional, then he'll be kicking himself tonight when he gets home. It was a razor-tight fight, a really close, quick fight at the end. You can see the respect they're both allowed to show each other. They both know they gave the best, they both received the best. That was a really, really close fight.
We always talk about martial arts. Let's not forget, boxing is a martial art. And that's why you see the class of respect.
And a lot of the time, boxing, martial arts, UFC, MMA, bare knuckle, it's one of the very few sports where you don't know who's actually won when the bout or the event is finished. Like football, basketball, baseball, you know they lose. So you have to stand there and wait agonizingly for that decision. And your fate is in the hands of 3 people around the ring. It's crazy.
Funnily enough, we say one punch can change anything in a bare knuckle fight. One punch to the back of the head caused Simon Doherty to win that fight.
That's
It's a
what Paul
really
and I were
close
just
fight.
saying. Paul said he's gonna kick himself.
It's exactly how I had it, but it could have gone either way. As one judge went 3 rounds the other way. But they both feel validated. You can see it in there, and they're both champions after that fight.
Paul, absolute pleasure, absolute honor to meet you. I love your entire family. You guys are as talented, but more so you guys are as classy as any family in the sport of boxing. And I know that's all due to the big brother, right?
I can say I've worked with you now, thank you.
And I can say I've worked with you.
Big brother takes all the credit for that, definitely.
Absolutely. I'm the big brother too, not a 4 or 2, but yeah, Mama used to always punish me too.
They'll be watching this throwing food at the television.
What have we started getting you doing this?
Hey,
you won't get rid of me now.
Brilliant.
We'll see you next month.
Thanks so much. See you next month.
I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Say hello to the family. Paul Smith, a true legend and a legendary family from Liverpool. I'm just going to go with it now because, you know, they are the boxing Beatles. And Paul will be with us next month as well. Tom will be back with us for the next fight, but right now, he's with Ash Bash.
Never had one of them. Joined ringside by Ash the Bash Williams. Ash the Bash, featherweight, unbeaten. You're off. You've got your wish. You're off to America. Tell us about your fight against George Bugallo.
Yeah, so George Bugallo, excellent fighter. Please don't think I'm coming all that way to America for no reason. I'm there. I'm there for a reason. I'm there to take that W, and I want that world title shot. So Harold McQueen and Yampy Mir, you best watch out because I'm coming for that title.
Final eliminator. It's a crack at the world title if you win.
100%, and I believe I deserve it. I've had 2 fights. I've knocked both my opponents out within a round. I've shown my toughness. I've got back up from a knockdown as well. I don't think I'm coming to America for no reason. I'm coming there for a fight. And George, you best be ready, mate.
Good luck. Thank you very much indeed. Put your hands together. Ash the Bash Williams.
We've got so much talent, just plain and simple. So much talent here in BKB, and Ash Bash is one of those very talented fighters. So later this month, upstate New York, and next month, we're back here in the UK. We are in the city of Leeds. Paulie Malignaggi, Tyler Goodjohn was originally to be tonight, Gareth. It will be next month, and to get the insight from one of the greatest members of a family of boxers here in the UK, to get Paul to talk about Paulie and find out they trained together with Buddy McGirt. I love hearing what he has to say as we look forward to this fight.
Yeah, but Buddy McGirt's an ever-present over here, by the way. Dillian White, he just trained against Moses Talma, and obviously we know how that went. Malignaggi versus Goodjohn. Look, I think Paulie's buying more time. He should have been here tonight. I think he's buying more time to get more training in. All the things Paul Smith talked about with you, because he's buying time to have 3 or 4 more weeks to face a guy who's a bare-knuckle legend in this country. Paulie will get me back for this, and it'll probably string me up if he ends up beating Tyler Goodjohn, but I think he wanted more time. I think it was a tactic, and I think he delayed the fight deliberately.
And I'll hold your arms behind your back while Paulie punishes you, bro.
That's okay.
Don't pick on my magic man.
And all I'll say is pillow hands. Pillow hands. Is that all you've got?
All right. And also on that card, as we saw earlier, Dan Podmore and marvelous Marco Martignac. Next, it is our co-main event of the evening. And it is a battle of 2 of Welsh's finest fighters. That man from Swansea, Dan Lerwell, Lionheart, looking for another big victory in the co-main event tonight. And Jack Marshman, looking for his 3rd win in the Trigon co-main event when we come back.
James Connelly, Martin Reffell still to come in our main event of the evening, but it is time for our co-main event, a cruiserweight confrontation between Dan Lionheart Lerwell and Jack Hammer Marshman.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are all set for the co-main event of the evening, an all-Welsh matchup in the cruiserweight division, scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his way to the Trigon, please welcome Jack Marshman!
The first Welsh fighter to make it into the Ultimate Fighting Championship. 8 fights in the UFC, a total of 33 fights in his mixed martial arts career, spanning a decade, 2010 to 2020. 13 of his 23 wins by KO or TKO. Tom Ross back with us at the table. Garrett A. Davies. Jack Marshman not only can fight, but he is truly one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet.
100%. What I will say about him, though, a lot of fighters we talk to, they all go, I want to be world champion, I want to be world champion. This man is so determined to be world champion. That's all that's on his mind. And he knows a win tonight puts him in line.
Hey, he went the distance with Cub Hawkins in a fight, Garrett, where he said, I don't think I could have fought worse. And that was in his humble way, and giving credit to Cub, who fought one of his best fights.
Absolutely, he was elusive, he moved, he showed that you can use footwork in the Trigon and be very effective. The trouble was, Jack Marshman never cut him off on the night. He just followed him and followed him. I worked with you for the first time that night and we were mesmerised by Cub Hawkins. He's come back and won since then and he can go on the journey again. He's slid down the snake and he's climbed the ladder once. He looks fantastic tonight. He's back in the title picture in my view.
Is it fair to say that he's probably improving fight by fight, bare knuckles?
Oh, no question, no question. He's boxing in the back, you know, in his life, obviously, but it is part of his DNA, and he does it true every single time.
And now his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the Trigon. Here is Dan Lerwell!
We talk about families and generations of boxers. Dan, the 3rd generation judoka. Grandpa practiced judo. Father practiced judo. Dan Lerwell was a 5-time Welsh junior judo, or actually senior judo champion with over 150 matches. He is also a bona fide finisher, Tom. 10 wins, 9 of those by way of knockout, 6 of those coming in the very first round.
This man can bang for fun. Dan Lerwell, one of the nice guys as well.
Yes,
and remember, he's not fighting for money, he's not fighting for fame, he's fighting to make autism awareness a current topic. And I love it, I love him for that. And now, I don't know whether you've known, he's improving fight by fight as well, technically. He's got Enzo Macronelli training him and working with him, and he's helping him. Macronelli won every title there was.
The big difference for Dan Lerwell in this fight is the weight cut down to cruiserweight. He'll be very powerful. He's a very, very big puncher. He's the brawler to Marshman's great boxing skills, even though Marshman's called the Hammer for a reason. This is, I want to use the word bragging rights fight again, because there's so much bragging rights on the line here. There's a big security contingent here tonight who look after Tyson Fury, because Dan Lerwell was the bodyguard for Mo Zidama against Dillian Whitehouse in Saudi a few weeks ago. I think it's just a terrific matchup. Mel Valenzuela should be congratulated for pairing these two fights.
I wouldn't say, I mean, Marshman, I've seen him fight every fight he's fought for us, and he's a brawler. He's a brawler, he's not really a technician, he's a brawler.
I know, I disagree with you, I think he's got great technical skills.
Well, there's the main man, Dan Lerwell.
Dan Lerwell. He said, and Paul Smith talked about it, that Enzo Macronelli has totally changed his boxing as we get set for our co-main event. And our tale of the tape for this Battle of Wales is brought to you by Clue Nicotine Pouches. Swansea is 4 years the elder of Albert Tillery. Reach advantage goes to Lerwell. Everything else is virtually identical. And with the official introductions of our co-main event, Big Bo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is your co-main event of the evening, live on Vice TV from Bristol, England. 5 3-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division, brought to you by Vortex Events. Our referee in charge when the bell rings is Andy Albrighton. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with silver trim, he stands 6 feet tall. He weighed in at 187.4 pounds. He enters the Trigon tonight with a professional bare-knuckle record of 2 victories. Opposite just 1 defeat, and he fights out of Larry Wales. Introducing former BKB World Championship contender, Jack Hammer Marshman. And now his opponent, standing across the Trigon, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks with green and white trim, he stands 6 feet tall. He weighed in at 186 pounds. Tonight, he enters the Trigon with a professional bare-knuckle record of 10 victories, opposite 4 defeats. And he fights out of Townell, Swansea, Wales. Introducing the former BKB World Champion, Dan
Hey, partner, so I don't get beat up when we go back to Cardiff. I'm from Cincinnati. I butchered Marshman's hometown a bit, didn't I? Just a little.
Abbottalilla.
That was close. Kick saving beauty. Thank you, Tom Ross. Now I'll only get punched once or twice there. We are underway. Co-main event. Footwork early being showcased by Marshman in the black trunks, red, white, and green for Lionheart. Both men with 2 victories inside the Trigon. Both men have had title fights against Cub Hawkins. Dan had his jaw broken in the last fight and still won.
If you remember, he told us, Marshman, he said to us, his weakness was the head movement. That's a real problem against a big puncher like Dan.
Lerwell's already landed 1 big right hand. Lovely head movement and feints from Marshman. Big hands from Lerwell.
This is the power. It's over. It's over. And down goes Marshman. It's all over. Just like that. 10 of his 11 bare-knuckle wins by knockout tonight. Lionheart scores his 7th first-round finish.
I was mentioning the lack of head movement, and that paid the penalty because he didn't move his head and he was spaced. Listen, he's a great fighter. He can prove that with his record in all sorts of disciplines. But in this, technically he's not savvy. And Lerwell, coached by Canelli, looked more savvy and finished it. It's as simple as that. You know, end of story. He didn't move his head and got punished.
And Dan is 39 years old. Dan is 39 years old. He continues to get better. Watch it here. A little slip. Catches him with the left. And once he had him rattled, Tom, and he came off the ropes,
done.
Game over.
Game up. Game done. Exactly right. And I like, listen, sometimes when you get the advantage, you've got to go in and make that advantage tell. Lerwell didn't back off. He went in and for the kill, and it finished him. I mean, it's such a lovely guy, Dan Lerwell, and such a talented fighter. But he was always a good scrapper. Now he's a fighter. Now he's a boxer. Brawler boxer. And that is a hell of a combination for BKB.
And now he has won 2 straight inside the mighty Trigon. Co-main event ends quickly. Official decision is coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Andy Albrighton calls a stop to this contest at 59 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by knockout, Dan Lionheart Lerwell.
Another first round finish. The 2 Welsh fighters, great respect. Dan Lerwell is truly a force. And oh, by the way, he's the best looking man in Wales. He does not like beetroot, and now he will talk to Garrett.
Congratulations, Dan, on a fantastic victory, first of all.
Yeah, thank you, Dan Smith. I just want to take this time to say thank you to Jack Marshman. He's an absolute fucking legend. And I felt I was stepping up tonight fighting him, and that's the truth. And he's been through such an hard time. I fucking take my hat off to him. He's a fucking legend.
Talk to us about your tactics in the fight and how it played out for you.
It's easy, and I got the best coach in Enzo. He's told me to stay relaxed. It's probably the most relaxed I've been. Told me to work everything off a jab, and it's coming into it to play tonight.
Taking the weight off down to cruiserweight, you look in phenomenal shape. You've been brilliant all week around us. Is this where you're staying?
This is the weight I'm staying at.
Are you chasing a world title?
Club Hawkins? Yeah. If he wants to go again, I'll go again, but I have been told he's moving down the weight.
But you want to fight for that?
I don't know, but well, should I go with you or should I go with Dan? All right. Another big win for Lionheart.
Another man's poison.
There you go. There you go. I know one thing. My grandmother made the best grilled cheese ever, and I'm holding that forever. So the co-main event ends quickly, as a lot of Dan Lerwell's fights have. So a good finish again for Lionheart. Mike Goldberg, Tom Ross, Garrett A. Davies. It's great to have Paul Smith with us. Paul kind of broke down the main event for us. When some of you were out doing interviews, you never leave without a microphone, so we knew we'd get something from you. But he talked about Canelli, and obviously he can relate to a family of boxers. And not only does he come from a family of boxers, but his brother Michael's going to be in his corner tonight.
Well, Michael's a fighter himself for the army. Fought for the army, fought for the Irish Guards. It is a fighting family, in or outside the ring. A fighting family. But this boy Canelli, he can mix it. Whatever fight he brings to the ring, he's ready. Whether it's a brawl, whether it's a boxing match, he can do whatever he has to do to win a fight. He came unstuck against LT, but let's be fair, he took LT the distance. Not many do that.
And there you see James Connelly. And I asked him in the fighter meetings, Gareth, as you did, why the lack of knockouts? One knockout in his entire bare knuckle career. And he said, because I fight smart, I fight safe. I'm not afraid to engage, but I don't want to put myself in danger or break my hands on the way to a victory.
I think that's a paean to his artistry. To be able to do that, to be comfortable in the hardest of fighting office in the world is a tribute and a testimony to his skill set, his IQ, his experience, and his self-belief.
And then you have the Reppel, Tom. And he is a fun human being, very relaxed coming into this meeting.
A lovely man as well, proper man. Now he is, if you said define a BKB fighter, it's him. He's an absolute brawler. He'll be out the blocks quicker than anybody, and he'll be ready to tear up. He likes a toe-to-toe.
I think the good thing for him in this fight, because Canelli is the blue chip fighter in bare knuckle, if you like. What Reffell can do is come in, he hasn't had to cut any weight. So he's got all his strength, no weight training. Canelli's cut weight, so it's been a harder process for him. And Reffell has to go hard, fast, and early.
I think going back.
I love James Connelly, but he's the Birmingham blue chip. We got a lot of blue chips.
We'll go back to Canelli. Canelli doesn't take risks. Why risk anything? And the only way you don't take risks is when you're that confident in your ability to win a fight.
And oh, by the way, his opponent never been stopped. Tonight, his 10th. Bare knuckle fight.
You want to know who the winner is?
Indeed. Our main event of the evening between James Connelly and Martin Reffell here at BKB 45 is next. It is time for the main event of the evening, the Truth and the Rebel. And here's Big Mo. There they are, friends, but not for the next potential 15 minutes. Both men coming off title fights, both men looking to return to their winning ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. This is your main event of the evening, live from Bristol, England, and live on Vice TV, inside the smallest fighting surface in combat sports, BKB's Mighty Trigon. This main event is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his way to the Trigon, please welcome Martin Reffell.
Martin, the Rebel Reppel, coming off that super welterweight title fight against Liam Rocky Reese that went all the way into the 6th round when the body shot from Rocky ended the fight. Reppel calls tonight a massive matchup. And Garrett, James Connelly, Scott McHugh, and others are fighters that Martin Reffell has always looked up to.
Absolutely. So it's a weird thing because psychologically you have to park something, and he's done it very well this week. But what he's done brilliantly is not wound Canelli up. You don't want to wind that man up. He's a very dangerous character, even though he's around us and very smooth and talks to everyone. I think he's one of the best fighters I've ever seen in bare knuckle.
And Tom, both fighters, and we'll talk about it with James in a moment, have really dialed it in. For this fight, Aaron McCallum, the bodybuilding champion, has been there with Martin 24/7 nutrition, strength and conditioning. They know coming off the setbacks that they can be better, and they both will be better tonight.
He made the point, didn't he, about how important Aaron McCallum's been to him in terms of the strength and conditioning, because, let's be fair, against Liam Reese, he wasn't at his best.
Yes.
It was a big chance for him, a world title. He will get better. He's had his chance, he's not taking it, and what he is now, he's hungry. It's like, you know, when you have a box of biscuits and you have one, you want another one. He wants another shot at the world title.
Well,
so he knows he's got to perform.
And he had Rocky weakened with the broken nose. Rocky was having trouble breathing, but nonetheless, the body shot ended it. And Martin, the Reppel, is about to take on the multiple-time BKB title contender, the one, the only, James Connelly.
I've known you a long time. You're the worst loser I've ever met. When you lose, you are raging to get back. You are raging to get back. So talk to me about that, because you're a bad loser because you're a winner by mentality.
James
No, but you know what? You've got to look at why the losses were there. You know, you've got to understand that a lot of things going into that the Wolverhampton fight I weren't happy with, you know, as far as how I felt and stuff like that, you know, and the drain. I remember just saying to my brother Michael, I was like, I can't stand the sight of that gym bag anymore, and then boxing gloves and my boxing boots and wet clothes, and I don't see the parts when I can't get out of bed in the morning, or I don't see the parts where I have to go and wash all the clothes I've been training continuously. Like, it's hard graft, you know what I mean? All of it is. It's not a loss, it's a learning experience, you know. I don't look at it like a loss, you know. I don't sit there dwelling on things, you know. It was a high-level bare-knuckle fight. That's exactly what you saw there, you know, against two high-level fighters, you know. It's also a 6 3-minute round fight and just pure going back and forth. So, yeah, I've done my best.
What a flurry at the end of the round!
Oh, wow. People appreciate the hard fights, the good fights that they see. Sometimes it's to you, it's all about the winning and losing and that, but when I've looked at it, I've got more love from my losses than I have from my wins. When I say love from it, you can just see people gravitate towards me more because of the fight that I put up on. Even though I never weren't the winner and I've got my hand raised at the end, it's the fight that I put up, you know, they love that. With due respect to Reffell, he's like an alti off Wish, I know, you know one of them ones, like, he hasn't got to that level of how an Alton is yet. If he's on the right to be fighting guys like us and be at this top level, you know, he's been in fights that he shouldn't have lost. He's always showing up, Reffell has, and he deserves the name that he's got in the game and fighting people like me.
And now, filing out of the red corner, please welcome to the Trigon, James Connelly!
Just talked about how the Rebel has never been stopped. The Truth stopped only once in 13 career fights. That was 2,052 days ago. 5 years, 7 months, 13 days. And when you enter the Trigon to a Rocky training montage, you got me. You had me at Survivor, whatever it starts with, you had me at that. Yeah.
100%.
He was from Philadelphia, he's American.
Oh, is it?
Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, Rocky Balboa.
Yeah. South Paul, South Philly.
I was a sucker for all them films. I loved them.
My mom, may she rest in peace, her favorite was Rocky.
I loved them. I loved all the Rocky films.
Well, talking of Rocky, Smash Nelson, who holds this belt in super middleweight, is a target for everyone, isn't he? The one thing I'd say tonight, Canelli doesn't get his form right, and we know that there are people lining up to fight Smash, I think Martin Reffell will be calling out Smash who beats Canelli. But I think Canelli's the favourite tonight in many ways.
We will find out. Smash, 2-division champion.
Nobody would argue the bookies would make him favourite, Canelli. Yeah. However, my 3 words to sum up BKB, you never know. You never know. Because this man can punch. He's already proved it. His fight with Liam Reese was a belter. We were here, weren't we?
It really was.
3 more words. Hard, fast, early for Reffell.
Yep.
Hard, fast, early.
And, by the way, there's a long line who wants Smash, including the Welsh Wrecking Machine. He wants another shot at Smash. But right now it is about James Connelly and Martin Reffell. And we are set to get our main event started when we return to Planet Ice Arena. Our tail of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. Canelli 39, Reppel 38. That tail of the tape right there is virtually identical and brought to you by Vortex. With the official introductions one more time, the one, the only Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening, live from the Planet Ice Arena here in Bristol, England. 5 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division, brought to you by Clue Nicotine Pouches. Our referee in charge inside the Trigon when the bell rings is Clive Allison. So, for those of you joining us around the world on Vice TV, to those of you joining us right here in Bristol, England, are you ready to make history? Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with white trim. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighed in at 166.6 pounds. He holds a bare knuckle record of 6 victories, opposite 3 defeats. And he fights out of Peterborough, England, introducing the former British bare knuckle champion and the former BKB World Championship contender. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Reffell. Across the Trigon, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 167.8 pounds. Tonight, he enters the Trigon with a professional bare knuckle record of 6 victories, opposite 6 defeats, and 1 draw. And he fights out of Northfield, Birmingham. James, the truth,
Clive Ellison, our referee, Canelli, and Reppel, our main event of the evening. Here we go! Black and silver trunks for the truth, the Rebel, in the black and white trunks, coming in early. Fighting in the clinch, both men, trying to score points.
You know, giving you straight at the blocks, Reffell was going to come hunting. That's exactly what he does. That's his only game plan.
And that may be the best kind of game plan to have against James Connelly.
Fight scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds, non-title fight for two men coming off of BKB title fights.
Interesting, Mike, that Clive doesn't want them to clinch very much, and he's pulled them apart almost 3 times already.
I think if you clinch but don't punch, he will split you. You've got to clinch and punch.
But they were the first time.
Yeah, the first time, yeah. That's what you've got to do, is punch. If you don't punch, he'll split you.
You know, there was that delay because of the New Mexico State Commission. Correct. When Canelli and Smash were going to fight at first. So it was like an 11-week camp, James said. Almost too much, overtrained for his second fight against Smash. For this one, 8-week camp, he called it ideal. And much like Aaron McCallum took care of the diet of Martin Reffell, for the first time, James Connelly worked with a nutritionist in preparation for a huge fight here tonight.
It's working really well for Reffell so far. He's set the pace and the tone of this fight, and James got nothing other than having to reply to the rash of punches and smothering the tactics.
I think in most fights like this, the better boxer will have to wait because he knows what's coming, so he'll just take it in his stride, keep it going. Now he'll start to open up eventually.
Like he did then,
yeah.
Tom.
Canelli has only been stopped 1 time in his bare-knuckle career, and tonight is his 14th professional fight. And Tom, you called the fights, but it's worthy of note. It was in the prize fighter tournament. He had defeated Sean George, then came back for the second fight that night, and Connor Tierney stopped him.
But that was because he'd come in at 2 fights consecutively. He took it out of him. That was if they'd have been the next day, it would have been a different matter, I'm certain.
Exactly my point. Thank you for helping me look smart, which is not an easy task.
I know, I've tried my best.
You're still giving me a ride home, though, right?
Canelli's gum shield or mouth guard punched straight out of his mouth by the left hand. A reference back into his mouth straight away.
Round 1 in the books. Round 2. The truth in the black and silver, that's James Connelly. The rebel in the black and white, that is Martin Reffell. Good frenetic pace early. Reppel landing over and over again, but a good counter thrown by James Connelly.
In that first round, Reppel has fought as well as he has done.
Yes.
He was absolutely super. But Canelli is a tough old bird. He can take a punch, and in BKB, you have to be able to take one.
Absolutely. And
to give one.
Much to your point, it was the tournament and multiple fights, the only night that he has been stopped.
He wasn't as fit as he is now.
Yeah, that's a great point, too.
Both men, I would venture to say, are in the best condition of their life when you consider they got the nutritionist involved. They're in that modern era of training now.
Absolutely, and Canelli's brilliant for his age, and he's slipping and sliding out of range, using his hands and his arms to defend himself, but he's finding really clever punches as well against Reffell. Like that, just a little chopping jab to keep Reffell at bay. It's his lovely work, body shots, love his work. He's so brilliant to watch.
You're calling that because Reffell's older.
Yeah, well, 1 year different, 1 year different.
And he's looking...
I got Marshman, yeah,
but
38, unless I messed up.
But you wouldn't say they were the age they are.
Well, yeah, because the Rebels all, like, young.
Yes.
And that's not to say Canelli's old, but, you know, Martin's got the young haircut.
That's me out the race.
There you go.
Again.
Again.
Great work by Canelli in this round, gents. He really is taking over at the moment.
He's got a swelling underneath his left eye there.
He does. But look at him working behind the jab. And it's something he said he was really focused on in this camp, being boxing-centric, working off the jab, and he's brilliant right here.
And he's throwing punches going backwards as well as forwards, and that's such a skill.
Well, counter-punching on reverse is a big skill.
Yes.
But for me, he looks more composed now, Canelli.
Absolutely.
He stopped. He decided, I don't want to tear up. I'm going to jab and work off the jab. Now, Reffell won't allow him to.
It's always about levels, isn't it, in these kind of fights?
Always.
They're both at a very high level in this one. Equally experienced. Both have enjoyed success in their bare-knuckle careers. Fight number 10, bare-knuckle for Martin Reffell. Fight number 14 tonight for James Connelly. There's some blood on the back of Canelli.
I think that's from Reffell.
Yeah,
I think it's his ear.
Yep, his ear. We see that in MMA a lot with the cauliflower ear, but tonight we see it in bare-knuckle boxing.
Lovely hooks.
Oh! And Canelli went right back there, not once but twice with the right hook.
He said when he stops brawling and stands back and fights, then he's a different fighter.
But a great right-hand counter as well from Reffell. This is a great fight.
Canelli waited for that rematch with Smash, obviously, for many years. The first one was a draw, one of the greatest fights in bare-knuckle history. What was the difference in the rematch? It was the boxing and the movement of Smash, and now we're seeing more of it from Canelli tonight.
But he did say in his fight here, in this country with LT, he said, I wasn't at my best. He said, I know I wasn't. I can be better. Now he's got to prove that tonight, because it's not a given that he'll get another shot at LT.
Yeah.
It's not a given, because everybody wants a shot at LT.
A long line.
But a good win tonight would put him in the frame.
Well, I will tell you, I'm not in that line to fight Smash. Call another fight or two. But no thank you.
Listen, we can be the best fighters on the planet sitting here, trust me.
But Canelli was the best fighter of the two of them in that round for me, and I think he really evened up the fight. This is a tremendous battle, and it feels like it's going to go all the way.
Because he's keeping him at distance and jabbing and working off the jab, which is a boxing technique. Oh, he wants a cut looked at there.
9 fights for Reppel.
3
finishes as they check the ear.
Why couldn't they do that during the break?
That's fair. The battle continues, our main event of the evening. Black and silver for Canelli, black and white for Reppel.
That jab's working for him now, for Canelli.
Yep.
Oh, well, a great right as well.
Yep. He caught it with a jab in the eye, and Reppel held it. His ear is bleeding.
I mean, we say often, Mike, the jab is the rangefinder. Then you can work off it, and that's what he's doing brilliantly since that first round.
And he's stepping into the jab, extending his reach, and it's working.
It's the foundation punch, and he's using it beautifully in this round.
And we talked a lot with Paul Smith about it, how this sport has evolved. And Tom, you and I called it when it was not quite the talent level that we see today from a boxing perspective.
Correct.
Now we're seeing everything they do with the gloves. They just don't have gloves on.
The mix is brilliant now. Technique, brawling ability, everything.
Canelli's showing all of that, what you're talking about right there. Now really enjoying his work, sticking his tongue out at times at Reffell. Great work. Paulie Malignaggi is going to have to use the jab a lot when he goes into his fight with Tyler Goodjohn, I hasten to add.
Because Tyler Goodjohn uses the jab to perfection.
Absolutely.
So does Paulie Malignaggi.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. It's too great.
Touche.
Yep. Double jab, right hand from the truth.
See how much better he's become, James Connelly, since he stopped brawling.
No question. And not just the double camps, if you will, for Smash, just all the emotion.
Yeah, that, which takes your energy, by the way.
Yeah. Now I got blood on my foot.
I have as well.
If you don't get blood on you haven't been in a BKB event, Trigon side, have you?
My dry cleaner, they think I'm really weird. Bringing in these bloody shirts, like,
The cops will be around your
Spot
home.
here, spot here, spot here.
Do they check your fangs when you go there or not?
I just run right out and hope they can get it out of my nice shirts. Under a minute, round number 3, so past the midway point of this 5-round battle.
I think Reffell is having a word with the referee with him, but Reffell is at his worst when he's actually behind and he knows it. He'll become aggressive, ultra aggressive.
Yeah. To the point of putting himself in danger, right?
That's the key.
Canelli's dominated this round, I hasten to add, James.
Canelli says, bring it.
He's just hit him on the chin and Canelli laughed at it.
This is a different James Connelly.
100%.
And he's had a ton of success. This is a totally different James Connelly tonight. And he's breaking down Martin Reffell systematically.
His boxing technique.
Look at the head movement.
Head movement, foot movement. He gets in and he gets out. Brilliant.
It must be so frustrating when you're up against a character of that nature and that movement for Martin right now, because he's giving his all in there, but he's being frustrated and almost humiliated.
But what he wants, Martin Reffell, is he wants a toe-to-toe tear-up. And Canelli's saying, no, I'm going to box your brains out. And that's what he's doing. And I think that technique, slip and move, in and out, brilliant.
It's the same frustration that James had when he fought Smash.
Absolutely.
Same exact story.
Is it called brutal artistry?
It's called the sweet science with a little bit of brutal artistry. Yes. It's just so fun to watch this sport evolve and to see.
Oh, look, he's come out. He's come out already, look. He don't want to wait.
No.
Canelli's come straight out. Psychologically, that's a point ahead.
Our main event continues. Round number 4. Fight scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds. Good start for the Rebel. Since that point, James Connelly has looked as good. I've not called all of his fights like you have, Tom, pretty much. But he looks better than I've ever seen tonight.
He was always a decent amateur boxer.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
But now he got into the brawling and all the rest of it. Now he's putting that boxing technique with the brawling ability.
Martin Reffell knows and his corner know that he's 2 rounds to 1 down, or even 3 down if you give Canelli the first round. He's definitely 2 rounds down. But the thing, or 2 rounds to the bad. But the thing is, Reffell has to go for broke in this round, in my
But do you not think going for broke, what he has to do, his corner will be telling him, listen, he's outboxing you, spoil it. Be a spoiler,
Exactly.
spoil the fight.
Make it a dog fight, make it a roughhouse brawl.
There you go, that's what he's got to do.
64 amateur glove boxing bouts for James Connelly, 51 victories.
There you go. But Reffell, in a brawl, he can match with anybody.
No question. Well, you know what? Championship fights and championship caliber fighters, as we have in our main event right here, right now. They bring out the best in each other, and they then showcase some of the best in the world.
The great thing about Canelli is that he is looking for a finish as well. It's not that he only wants to win on points. He is looking for that finish.
But he won't take
intelligently.
Absolutely, the whole time.
He won't take risks.
Yep.
Intelligence defense and intelligent offense.
And when I asked him in the fighter meetings, and you guys were obviously there, I said, hey, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, James, but you're such a great fighter. You've been around so long. Why only 1 knockout? That's exactly what he talked about. Yeah. Tom and Gareth is fight smart, protect my hands, protect my body.
Protect his face.
Yes, protect his face.
Reffell is very tired now, getting
heavy.
fatigued, getting frustrated.
That comes from
and Canelli looks as fresh as he did at the start of the fight.
You know, when you're hitting this energy.
Oh, lovely left hook from Canelli. It was so beautiful to watch.
Almost more energy to miss than it is to land a punch.
No, it is, without a doubt. More energy used when you miss.
And when you're moving your head trying to get away from a guy who's just putting together a great boxing clinic.
It's actually a good fight.
It really is.
Very
Southpaw
good.
for a second for James Connelly, but just for a second.
Big swelling under his left eye, though, James.
Slipping
Might
punches.
have been why he went southpaw for a second, but he went right back to orthodox, and he just caught Reppel with a nice left hook.
But you know, Reffell hasn't given up. That's what's so brilliant. He still knows As you know, Tom, you've called so many of these fights. So have you, Goldie. One punch can change everything.
Everything. You never know.
Martin Reffell, I don't believe in game over until the game is over. Round 4 coming to conclusion.
Somebody once said it ain't over till the fat lady sings. So you're right. And she might be gargling.
I've got Reffell needing a stoppage to win this now. I've got him at least three rounds to 1 down.
But in bare knuckle, that stoppage can come, that knockout can come anytime, can't it?
Absolutely.
And Reffell's as game as they come. The minute you think you've got him beat is when you're most susceptible, because he is a tough character.
So that means you get an all-action last round, Mike.
Well, we did in Cardiff in the title fight, and it was that body shot, 26 seconds in a title fight in the 6th and final round that earned the victory and the title defense for Liam Rocky Reese.
Well, if his corner have got anything about him, they're saying to him, look, you've lost this and this. He'll come out like a train. He'll come out like a train.
This is the final round.
3 minutes remain. Black and silver for Canelli. Black and white for Reppel. Canelli looks as fresh as he did during his walk-in. Changing levels, gets a smile from the Rebel. But Martin knows. He's smart enough to know, he's been around long enough, he knows what he needs to do to win this fight.
And has the ability to do it.
He does indeed. That said, only one man has ever done it to Canelli, and that was his 2nd fight in the same night. Great changing levels by James tonight.
Brilliant focus, yeah, exactly. Focus, patience, poise, presence.
Tape coming off the left hand of James. He'll take the scissor to that. We'll keep battling.
I think that gives Martin a little breather there.
It does. You see how quick James went got tonight. Okay.
He wanted to carry on, didn't he?
Instead of a 12-second breather, I'm going to give you about a 4. And he comes out and delivers another good combination. Under 2 minutes in our main event of the evening.
Reffell, I think, is probably at his most dangerous when you tag him, because that's when he comes rushing back as if to prove a point. Every time James has tagged him, he's come back. He hurt him then, though.
2 BKB title contenders, 2-time title contender for Canelli. BKB USA since our merger. Past the midway point of the 5th and final round.
But the big question on everybody's lips is which of these fighters can beat LT? That's the question nobody answered yet.
And it's not just limited to these two.
No, these I'm on about. Anybody that wants to.
Absolutely.
Who beats LT is the big question in bare knuckle boxing.
Well, Barry wants another shot. He wants it at 160.
He does. He wants it now.
Yep.
What about them fighting at light heavyweight? Barry and
he said to me, just Barry, that he's going to have to come down again. He won't fight at light heavy LT.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the only way they're beating, I'm suggesting. But he's so game, Martin Reffell, you know. Still coming forward, still trying to land that big right hand.
Double jab from the southpaw stance by Martin Reffell.
Just after he was tagged, he comes back.
Yep.
It's all like hit him and he's coming after you.
30 seconds remain.
If you wanted to epitomise bare knuckle boxing, that fight.
Absolutely. That
version of James Connelly can give Smash a bigger challenge. Although he's been two of the best challenges ever, and he's got the draw against Smash.
But if he fought like that against LT last time, it might have been, I'm not saying he would have won, but it could have been a different fight.
Because that is how LT fought. He had evolved and he brought out a difference in Leo Berrucci told me, Goldie, you're going to see a totally different guy tonight than we did with Smash. And now, one fight later, we saw a totally different fighter in James Connelly.
LT's a machine, though.
He is.
He's a machine, isn't he? Yeah. I actually don't think he's human.
I my doubts.
But you can tell him I'm not.
Yeah. He'd actually take him as a compliment.
Because he's the man, he's the one fighter that when you hit and you hurt him, he becomes worse. He becomes really aggressive with it. We saw Barry Jones put him down.
Oh, yeah.
And then, wow. So, but he's the one they all want to beat. And if you want to be the best in anything, you have got to beat the best. And he's the best. So you can understand Canelli and all the others, I want LT. Because that's a scalp you want on your resume.
Hey, LT did Letway. Muay Thai is the art of 8 limbs. Letway, you added headbutt.
Mental, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. We await the judge's decision. Canelli and Reppel put on a 5-round show in our main event of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. The judges see the contest 50-45, 48-47, and 48-47, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, James the Truth Canelli!
One of the judges said that Canelli pitched a shutout. 50-45.
Unbelievable. To be fair, the first round we thought might have been, but you can see how they come to that conclusion. And I'll tell you, I bet you, without knowing, I bet you that's the ex-BKB boxer that decided, because he knows what it's like in there. He's probably given the 5 rounds, because James was awesome tonight.
Time to talk to the truth. Here's Gareth A. Davies.
I know you're celebrating, James. That was a performance of brutal artistry.
Yeah, my man, great tough fighter. You know, listen, people were saying something before, mine's going to be an easy fight. I looked at it for, no way. Mine's a threat to anyone. He's a threat to anyone in any division. So I'm thankful to him and I had to put a performance on it.
2 of the judges had it 3-2 to you in rounds. 1 judge had it a shutout, as you heard there. As I say, it was an amazing performance. Where do you go next after this?
I'll have any of them, just still LT number 3. Any fight really. Listen, I'm here to fight, you know, and I'm a high level and I'm #1 contender, so world title shot, yeah, Gareth.
Okay, lovely. We hear that LT smashed Nelson may have another fight first, but would you wait for him?
Yes, I'll have to, wouldn't I? You know what I mean? He's #1 at this stage, and I want to become #1 in this whole division, so yeah, I'll wait. Very right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you watched The Truth tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gareth.
Great performance by James the Truth Canelli, victorious in our main event of the evening. We have not 1, but 2 knockout of the night. Our first one brought to you by Clue, the Great White Trigon debut, and he finishes Vlad Skurtu quickly. Rob Boardman, 154 of the first. Knockout of the night, number 2. Oh, watch it again. So good.
Beautiful.
Unbelievably done. He got him right there with the kind of the scoop uppercut and then just continued to pour it on, went to the body.
Boom. Body head. Game over. Congratulations to Rob Boardman. And Boardman gets the Clue knockout of the night. And the Vortex knockout of the night goes to Lionheart. Dan Lerwell, 59 seconds into our co-main event against Jack Marshman. His 7th career first round finish. He has won all but one of his bare knuckle battles by TKO or knockout. Vortex knockout of the night to Dan Lerwell.
What a night.
What a night indeed. And we stay very busy. In just a couple of weeks, it is BKB 46 Empire State Brawl. That is Saturday, September 27th in Salamanca. Main event, featherweight champion Harold Lightning McQueen defends his belt against the #1 contender, Jean-Pierre Ramirez. Cruiserweight champion Cub Hawkins is back. And former heavyweight champ DJ Linderman fights Hawaiian tough man Dylan Rush. 47, we're in Leeds, and it is the Magic Man, the former two-time world champion, Paulie Malignaggi, against Tyler.
And, you know, we've seen sensational knockouts. We've seen toe-to-toe tear-ups. We've seen classic boxing. We've seen a fighter who probably started brawling and then suddenly realised, if I box this guy, I'll win. Canelli, and he did. He started to use his boxing ability, and it was absolutely brilliant. The whole night's been amazing, and as always, a pleasure working with you, bud.
Always an honor, my friend. Always an honor, my friend. The Trooper took on the Gentleman. Utilizing the jab brilliantly. How about Will to Deitzell? He was very, very good. As was that man. And then the Australian regular heavyweight champion Lucas Browne finishes Cory Harrison. The rematch goes the same way as the first one. Paul Hilz victorious in round number 2. The Great White has a big fight tonight. And he also was awarded one of our knockouts of the night. Simey, Doherty, Joe Smith put on a show. Lerwell with another knockout of the night. Our main event goes the distance. For our partners, Gareth A. Davies, Tom Ross, Mike Goldberg, saying so long until next time. We see you right back here inside the Trigon.